So I've had an amazing, amazing, amazing life. Like, I've taken 5 years off and not even worked. I've lived in giant mansions and like I've competed with Hugh Hefner for best party in all of LA. Like there was the Playboy Mansion in our party. I'd say we were not as good as the Playboy Mansion, but we were number 2, hands down. Like mega mansion parties, $80,000 a month mansion, big party on the bluff of a cliff, $1 million parties, $500,000 parties. You know, I've dated models, actresses, really intelligent girls, girls into music, creative girls, all different racial backgrounds and like curvy girls, skinny girls. I've been famous. I've hung out with all my like celebrity friends I want to hang out with. I've been to almost every national park in the country. I've been to almost every ski resort in the country. I've been to almost every zoo in the country, aquarium in the country, museum in the country. I've read all the books that I'd want to read. I've been to spiritual retreats. I've driven the country about 3 times over, literally just by car, driving it around. I've read fuckloads and fuckloads of books. I go to Barnes & Noble. I've read like 2/3 of the fucking book rack in some niches. Well, at least when I was younger, maybe new ones have come out. I don't read as much these days. But I'm trying more to like discharge what I've learned and kind of use what I've learned. But I've had a fun life. And I can also tell you that like game-wise, sex-wise, pretty much I walk down the street and I meet women all day, literally all day. Yesterday I was at the sauna. It was like a $100 sauna thing. It's like sauna cold plunge. I got it for free. There was like a 22-year-old little baddie who like gave it to me. She might even pop by today. Don't mention that I said that to her, please. She gave it to me for free. Women buy me things. Women give me stuff for free. It's very common. So and I have a lot of fun. I'm a very happy person. I'm never in a bad mood. Very rarely in a bad mood. I haven't been sick in 15 years. I never got COVID. I don't go to doctors. Like, and I'm not against doctors. I just don't need them. So you see my point that I do a lot of hiking and stuff like that. I just came back from Gatlinburg. We had a tank-sized bear come up on us on the fucking, on the trail. We had to run across the stream to escape it. So I have a lot of fun, okay? I'm also a big believer in not being a billionaire. I am always being hammered to be a billionaire. Like, how come you're not a billionaire yet? Why didn't you go to billionaire's house? I don't like the whole billionaire thing. Can any of you guys guess why I'm not a fan of the billionaire thing? Because I could easily do it in my sleep. I could be a billionaire in my sleep. What's that? I like to fuck. You know, I have a high sex drive. Like, if ever I have a girlfriend, like, I have to fuck her 3 times a day or I can't stay with her anymore. Like, I like to go to national parks. I like to do parties. I like to go to restaurants, like, as you can tell. Like, you know, I just like to have fun. Like, I just like to have as much fun as humanly possible, okay? I'm not a believer in making, like, to me, the sweet spot is, like, 5-10 mil for most people. Like, that's where I'd like to see you guys. 5-10 mil net worth. Maybe like 20-30 is pretty good. 50-60 is on the higher end. That's where I want to take you. We are sitting here very late at night on a Sunday at a free event. Is everybody here having a great fucking time at this event? Have I given, at this free event, have I given everything I have? Everything. Okay, this is for real? For real. How much would you recommend to people to get out to one of these free events? You gotta go! You guys have fun? Did you guys make great friends here? Oh, yeah. Did I gatekeep anything or hold anything back? Oh, okay. Have you guys made great friends and gone out and had fun? Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal, okay? I want you to be here. You want to be here. Upcoming, we have incredible free events. Click the link below, and you will come to an entire free seminar. And we're gonna meet. I'm gonna give you personal feedback. I'm gonna build you a mastermind, and we're gonna change your fucking life. Did you guys feel like your life changed being here this weekend? Yeah! Click that fucking link. Coming up, we have San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, Salt Lake City, Denver, Chicago, St. Louis, Minneapolis, Detroit, New York City, Austin, Dallas, Houston, Vegas, San Diego, Phoenix, Boston, DC, Orlando, Miami, Tampa. I think you'll want to click the link. Do you guys recommend they click the link? Yeah! Really excited to meet you at the free tour. I don't think you need to go to billionaire. Billionaire basically means that you don't get to like get pussy. You don't get to fucking like all my billionaire clients are fucking like, I got so many billionaire clients, guys. They got like 500 mil, even at 100 mil. These guys are bored as fuck. They hate their lives. Women only like them for money. They're just over-optimized. Do you guys see what I mean by over-optimized? Yeah. So I think that there's like, occasionally somebody, I think being a billionaire is a good fit. Like, that is a good fit for the right person. Like, if your version of connecting to God is just banking cash, and that's what you really fucking love, is just, like, you feel spiritually enlivened when you just make cash. And that's like the only thing that you want to do. And I'm not talking 10 mil, 30 mil. That's not cash. 30 mil is not rich. That's average, okay? Might not be average statistically, but that's average for any guy with a half-working fucking brain. So 30 mil, 50 mil, that's not a lot of money. You guys think that's a lot? It's really not. That barely gets you like a fucking estate and a couple cars and like retirement these days, okay? So the point being is like, I think you don't want to over-optimize, right? Like eventually when I decide to get back in shape, I'm not going to try to be a big juice monkey. You know what I mean by juice monkey? You know those guys like the giant, like their arms are up to here? Why do you need that, dude? That's fucking weird. Why do you got to be a juice monkey? Why not just have like a swimmer's physique or like maybe a bit more like, you know, maybe kind of jack, right? But for some guys, being a juice monkey is their thing. Does that make sense? They love being a juice monkey. So if you love being a juice monkey and that's your passion, not because you're seeking approval, not because you're doing it for somebody else, but because you just like being a juice monkey, then yeah, be a juice monkey and I'll support you in that. I've got clients that are juice monkeys. It's just like they love it. They love the human physique. They like to see what juice can do to their body. It's like basically when you take all these steroids to the point your nuts don't work, right? Well, that's kind of like what being a billionaire is like. Like being a billionaire basically means that like all that you do is like buy up like distressed businesses, fire all the staff, steal the equity out of it, you know, just crunch numbers all day, basically just like in this constant war. And then what do you do with the money? You get depressed and you take my boot camp. You know, you take my $1 million boot camp. So I deal with these guys. Okay, I remember I was coaching, I won't say names, but like, have you guys ever seen the movie The Social Network? You ever seen that? Yeah. Yeah, like Social Network, I remember like one of the main characters from that movie, one of the Facebook founders, I was with Julian and like we were out coaching this guy and like everyone hated him. He's like super toxic. And like the last time I saw him, he like walks up to me and Julian, he's like, yeah, like, you know, like, of course I didn't do that well tonight because like he's so toxic and annoying. And he's like, of course I didn't do that well because like I'm in a different city every day because I just fly around in a private plane. So girls don't like me because they know I can't take them on a date. And, you know, that's just my life, you know? Yeah. I mean, you know, you shouldn't feel bad for me because, you know, I'm in a private plane. And like he comes up on like me and Julian, like a couple girls and stuff. And like the girl's like, who's this creepy fucking loser? And then he just goes, I fly a private plane, and then he just runs off. And that's like the last I ever saw him. That's billionaires to me, you know what I'm saying? Like that's billionaires. Like they're always just fucking weirdos, you know? Like Kevin just came back from coaching one of our favorite clients. I think his net worth's like 500 mil. And like the guy can barely open a set. No girls want to talk to him. Nobody likes him, right? No, but I love the guy. He's fucking great. I hope he'll come this weekend. Like he's a great guy. You know how he found out he was a billionaire? I built him, we had a 12K trading he signed up for, and he sent us 1.2 mil by accident in crypto. And I call him, I'm like, yo, you sent us 1.2 mil. I was like, you know, we have a Coachella trading for private clients. Like, you might want to join that too. So he wound up joining it. But the point is, like, we found out he was a billionaire because he accidentally sent 1.2 mil. He didn't even notice. Like, we could have just kept it. So, right, how do you think I can afford to do the free tour? I've got rich clients. That's how I could afford to do the free tour. But anyway, so you guys see my point, right? So basically what I'd say to you guys is what I'm going to try to show you here, I'm going to try to show you how you can make anywhere from like 5 mil to maybe like 30, 40 mil. That's what I'm gonna lock in on this weekend. And you could actually do it. Like tons of my clients have done it. You could easily do it. I've done it. Like it's not hard to do. It's really not hard to do, guys, okay? I'm telling you, like you can absolutely get to 20, 30 mil. Okay, basically everybody here should be at a point where you can like mac bitches super easily. For the couple girls here, I don't mean to offend you. I just talk like I'm a rapper. I think I'm a rapper. So basically like, you should be able to mac bitches like 2 seconds. I didn't believe in the word bitch. I just think it like sound like a rapper. So basically, you should be able to mac bitches like everywhere you go, like anywhere you go. Like if you are at a restaurant with your friends and you see a woman that you want to talk to, and you're too much of a bitch the real bitch is men these days, not women. But like if you literally see a woman that you want to talk to and you can't go reliably attract most women that you see, that makes you a bitch. Okay. That literally makes you a bitch. You know that destroys your self-confidence. How much does that ruin you? Be honest, right? You see a woman, like you're at a nice dinner, you see a couple girls by the bar, you'd like to talk to them, but instead you just memorize what her ass looks like so you could jack off to her later. Let's go home. Yeah, and I do that all the time too. Like I see hot girls out and I go home and I jack off them. I do the same thing. But I'm just saying like I don't always have sex with every girl I see. But the point is like, as a man, you should, if you want to, if you're busy and you're with your boys, you don't want to go, you know, chat that girl up and hang out there for a couple hours and bang her, obviously that's your choice. I don't have sex with every girl. But I'm just making the point, like if you literally don't even know how, like you don't even know how to do it, and then you just go home and jack off to her. I'm not even against jacking off. I like jacking off. But I actually genuinely enjoy jacking off. I don't know what guys are against it. It's like literally like it's free. It doesn't hurt anybody. It's only positive. Like, there's very few things in life better than jerking off. I'm sorry. Like you can't even get it. Like, there's no STDs. Like, I don't know why everybody's like complaining about like this no fat thing. I'm the pro fat movement. I think you should jack off as much as humanly possible. But but anyway, the point. I have a very, very high sex drive. But the point being is like, you shouldn't have like. To me, I'm not like an incel at home jacking off because I can't meet a woman. That's crazy, okay? So you should know how to like see any girl, be able to attract her. I like how she's in the back. She's like, oh my God, okay? But like, that's not, like if you see a woman, you don't know how to attract her, that's not right. That's fucking weird, dude. Like, that's creepy. That's weird, bro. That's literally creepy and weird if you don't know how to go talk to a girl. And same thing with making money. Like, if you don't know how to make money properly, that's creepy. That's weird. Like, that's on some creepy shit. That's very weird because you guys gotta understand, okay? Do you know that you're not even technically supposed to work? Working is weird, okay? No, I'm serious. Work, that's on some weird shit. Nobody who works, okay? Money is free. I don't know if you guys knew that. Money's literally free. Do you guys not know that? I don't work. I haven't worked in years. What do you guys ever see me doing? I just come to some city, I'm like, free tour, and then I'm like, now I'm going back in the forest. That's all I do. Normal, like, why would you be, working is so dumb. Working is so dumb, okay? Let me explain to you why. The average person just doesn't get this. Weird to me. Okay, like, in the same way that in the third world, it's just a train wreck, if you have a job, you're like one step away from the third world. Like, that's crazy, bro. The way that you're supposed to make money, here's how it works. In your early 20s, you scamper up the mountain very quickly until you get your first 2 or 3 mil. Then you just put it in something that pays you and you don't work anymore. That's it. That's normal. You're not supposed to, like, okay, like, here's what guys are doing, okay? Basically, the average dude is like, I give you a couple lambs, like a couple breeding pairs of lambs. What are you supposed to do with the lamb? You give them food, you breed them, you breed the fucking lamb, and then you get it to have a bunch of other lambs, and then you put it like in a little lamb thingy, and then you get like hundreds of them, and then you shear the wool off it and you sell the wool. Eventually, when it's old, you can take the leather off it. Eventually, when it's old, you can take the meat off it. What most people in society are doing is they got 2 baby lambs, and they're like, damn, I'm hungry. And then they just go, ah, and they just eat the lamb. And then that's it. There's no like flock of lambs. There's no wool. There's no leather. There's no meat. There's just like a tiny lamb. You ate it. It's like if I gave you some apple trees, like a bunch of baby apple trees, and there's like apples like this big on it, and then you just start eating the apple. You're like, I'm hungry. You start eating the apples. No, you're supposed to like grow it. You're supposed to build an orchard, and it will keep feeding you, okay? That's how you're supposed to live. So if you want to be rich, what you're supposed to do is you just find basically a cash flow business, some kind of a cash flow business that you can do from scratch that has no obstacles. And then what you do is you do that for like 4 or 5 years. You get your first 7 or 8 mil quick. Don't blow it all. Okay, don't be doing like some dumb shit. Like, this is for like when you got like the money's making, like, you don't spend the principal on dumb shit like this. You have the principal which pays you free money, and then you can go buy some dumb shit. Okay, some ignorant shit. Okay, you don't spend the money, the initial money on ignorant shit. So then what you do is you go do that, get the money. Now, once you're at like a $5 or $10 million principal, then you're just, if you have the right investments or you put it in the right place, then you start getting money for free. Look, Kevin, just come up to the front, explain to them like quickly. Kevin took my trainings back in the day, and then he just bought a couple Airbnbs, and now he doesn't work. He just comes around with me, and me and Kevin are like literally just friends. He took my training, bought a couple Airbnbs, and like all this guy does is just like meet girls and go to parties. He does, and he hangs out with me. That's literally all he does. How do you, like, what's the short for, just to make it real to them so they don't think I'm crazy?
Yeah, like in the last 2 months, we literally went Miami, Coachella.
Every Coachella, by the way.
Coachella weekend 2, Stagecoach, another crazy festival with beautiful women everywhere. And then, I just was in Vegas last 2 weeks. I literally just travel every weekend, go wherever I want. Go into Miami Swim Week on Monday, to just do a lot of fashion stuff. So, yeah, it's pretty much just wherever the high status people are, or the most attractive girls, I just go there. I don't overthink, I just go. I'll probably go to Ibiza later in June as well, because it's just the place to go.
Yeah, but what about your 9 to 5? Like, don't you have a boss up your ass?
No.
Yeah, but don't you have to work?
Well, yeah, not that type of work, no.
Yeah. So he basically just manages his properties. He doesn't have, now look, he has enough money that if he had like a big ass family, then he might need to work a bit more because kids are expensive as fuck, right? But the point is, as a single dude, he can do that, and then now he can build his other businesses in his spare time if he wants to, because he doesn't have to work. How does it feel not having to work?
I mean, yeah, it feels awesome because you can just pursue the feelings that you want to feel or pursue the goals you want to. Like, you don't have to be in reaction. It's waking up very proactive, and you get to choose what you actually want to pursue. So, like, I don't know. I guess if I'm kind of like out of that headspace, like I quit my job, like I had a job like 9 years ago, so I quit. But like, raise your hand if you guys have like a 9-to-5 job or like a.
It's rough, huh?
Yeah.
Having to wake up every day, drive to work, or even do it at home, it sucks. It literally sucks. Is that real to you anymore?
No, I'm like so far detached from that. Like, I just don't know. I don't think of it at all. I mean, I always think that's just, anything that I want to do, I have to like kill what I eat. Is that what you said? Right?
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, I have to go. If I wanted to get something, I'm like, okay, what actions do I have to take to make that happen? I'm not looking for someone else to come set this little frame for me to exist within. It was like, okay, as long as you clock your hours, you're gonna get this money at the end of the week. Well, if that's happening, like, I actually try to put that on other people. Like, the second that I can pay someone to put time into my endeavors, I'm like, yes, please let me swipe my card and you just do all this stuff for me, and I barely have to do shit. That's what I've been working on a lot, is just figuring out ways I can pay other people to just do all this stuff. You barely have to do anything.
Yeah, give me a hand for that, guys. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So now, whenever I talk, I'm talking with the intention to shock and piss you off, okay? So personal growth seminars are meant to antagonize. They're meant to piss you off, right? Women's self-help is more about support, okay? Like nurturing good emotions and supporting and helping emotionally regulate each other. Because for women, they do best when they feel supported. Men tend to feel best when they're being chastised and browbeaten. Am I right? Yeah. Like, say that I go to you and I'm like, hey man, I just want to let you know you're a good guy and you can really do it. And you're beautiful, and you're a queen. You're a queen, right? Yeah, as a man, you're like, why are you saying this to me? Like, it's like I'm treating like a baby, right? So men tend to do better with being browbeaten. That's why, like, because I do that kind of personal growth, not that many women follow my stuff because they're like, this guy's just angry. Like, what's wrong with this guy? But guys love my stuff. Well, that's because I'm a little bit more aggressive, okay? So when I say, it's like you're eating the crab apple, that's me just trying to piss you off. When I say that having a job is weird and creepy, I'm trying to piss you off. Look, I'm not done. Look, I know that honest work is a real thing. I know that having a job is honorable. But the problem is that if I'm on the street and a guy has a job, I don't go up to a random guy on the street who never asked for my advice and like, that's fucking creepy. You're eating the crab apples. You're eating the lamb. Okay, I don't talk to someone like that on the street. That's very rude, and I don't know his life or whatever. You guys are coming to here asking. Like, my biggest thing is I don't give advice to somebody who didn't ask. You guys came here. You're asking. So there's an opening there. So I'm talking to you from a frame of having an opening and trying to hammer your brain. Some of you guys have probably heard me say this stuff before. And even when you come here again, it sinks in a bit deeper. You're like, fuck yeah, man. It's like almost like dehypnotizing you a little bit, right? So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. So the way that I want you to think about it is, in life, you want to get to the point where you have enough money that you can put it into, whether it's an Airbnb or NVIDIA or crypto or properties, whatever, or your own businesses, but whatever the case, and then find something that you can put in so that you're not forced to work and you don't have to work, okay? That's the first thing I want to explain to you. So from there, what I really want you guys to do is I want you to think about what it means to have a business that cash flows, okay? What does it mean to have a business that cash flows? So in other words, okay, watch this. Jay-Z, he's at billionaire status, right? So if we look at Jay-Z, if we were to go on ChatGPT, how did Jay-Z get to billionaire status? Well, rap, you guys think of him as a rapper, right? Rap got Jay-Z to 2 mil. Then what'd he do? Rockaware. That maybe got him 30 mil. Then it was like that alcohol brand. Alcohol is like fashion, like Rockaware sweatshirts. That's a very high margin, right? Because it's just some dumbass sweatshirt with a Rockefeller logo on it for his label. So he makes a high margin. Then he does alcohol. Again, another high margin. Notice the stuff he's selling is pretty lowbrow, right? Like wearing another man's logo on your shirt is not exactly highbrow. Like, I'm part of Rockefeller, right? Or like, drinking alcohol has a tremendous margin on it. It's not very highbrow. It's very lowbrow, right? Then he got paid like off his alcohol. He got paid like $100 million or something. Then he did. Anyone know what other ventures Jay-Z had?
Artwork.
Yeah, that's much later. What else? What?
Title.
Tidal. What's Tidal like? What is that? What's Tidal? It's like Spotify, okay? And he probably got paid like $300 million off that. Then what do you do? Live Nation and Rock Nation. Then he gets paid even more hundreds of mils. Then what's he do? He marries Beyonce. Now he's like his sugar mama, right? Beyonce. You know that a girl's got to be rich if you're a sugar mama for Jay-Z. So then he got even more rich. Then he starts doing investments. He's hanging out with like probably like the Illuminati and like fucking a goat. So so if you want to fuck a goat with the Illuminati, then I mean he does hang out with Brima Bravovich or whatever that bitch is. Yeah. But anyway, so the point being is, I mean his logo is that. So anyway, look, point being is that if you want to get like, okay, so if he made $100 million from Tidal, but only $2 million from rap, well then what should you do? Do Tidal, right? Because you get the $100 million. If he made even more money from alcohol than rap, shouldn't you just make an alcohol brand? Okay, cool. Well, yeah, just make the next Tidal. Make the next alcohol brand, right? Right? Why is that wrong?
Because you got to do what's true to you.
Louder.
You got to do what's true to you.
Not just that, because you can't. Here, make the next Tidal. Go. Oh, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
How come we can't make the next Tidal?
Requires a lot of capital.
You have no capital. You can maybe get investors, but you have no capital. So you can't do that because the capital isn't there. Oh, here, just go have a bunch of alcohol. Yeah, like, okay, how come none of you all have like a $1 trillion alcohol brand?
No capital.
No capital, right? So, if you have the capital, there's ways of raising it, but the point is that you don't have the capital. So if you don't have the capital, what do you need to get capital? What's the very first step in your billionaire, or like not billionaire journey, but like 50 mil, 100 mil? You can go to billionaire if you want. I just think it's funny to get laid and go to national parks. But, I'd rather fuck a hot girl and go to national park than, have like $1 billion that just makes me into a loser. You guys understand, so many of my clients are loaded to the point that I see them, I'm like, man, this is a sad life these rich guys have. It's fucking, dude, it's not good. They're overall, it's like these steroid monkey guys. Do you think these monkey guys have like a great life? A juice monkey?
No.
Say the word over-optimized.
Over-optimized.
Yeah, look, if you love being a juice monkey, yeah, fuck yeah. If you're one of those guys like Mr. Wonderful and you just love like being a billionaire, well then yeah, I'm not telling you not to do it if that's like your passion, but don't do it just for approval. Like there is a point, say the word diminishing returns.
Diminishing returns.
Yeah, so like I'm gonna have you guys do an exercise in a minute where you actually calculate how much money you actually want, okay? And by the way, as soon as a motherfucker tells me he wants to be a billionaire, I'm like, be a little more original. Like, do you guys know what I mean with the billionaire thing? It's like, how much money you want? Billion. You know what I mean? Billion. It's almost like how you'll ask a guy like, who do you want your coach to be? And they just go, Tony Robbins. It's like, look, I love Tony. I think Tony's great. He's a great coach. But I'm just making the point, like, they just pick the most like generic, like no thought into, like I've got coaches that literally, like some of my best coaches, I paid only $100 an hour. And they're incredible coaches. You wanna know why? Because they suck at marketing and all they do is coach all day, right? But like I find those guys, like if I ask you what your favorite YouTube channel is, and you tell me a big YouTube channel, like say you're like, what's your favorite YouTube channel? You're like PewDiePie, I don't know, who are these big guys? Like, I don't know, who are like these dumbass, Mr. Yeah, if you tell me your favorite like channel is Mr. Beast, like, come on, homie. Right? Like Mr. Beast, PewDiePie, and I don't know, who's like another, like Kai Cenat and I Show Speed, right? Like, who's your favorite artist? Taylor Swift, like Bieber, right? Like if someone actually loves Bieber, like they love Bieber, like maybe they connect to him for like a specific reason, and I know Bieber a little bit. If they connect to him for a very specific reason, amazing. But like, you can't, if you just tell me you connect to him because everybody else does, that's pathetic, okay? So you gotta think for yourself here. So if I tell you like, how much money you want to make, $1 billion, 100 billion, trillion, like you're gonna be broke till you're dead, homie. Okay, so in other words, when I know how much money I want, let me show you what this looks like, okay, when I decide how much money I want. I pick the amount where, here's basically what you do. Write this down. I'll do an exercise with you guys, okay? Here's what you do. Pick the number where you have enough for the following things. you can live where you want. Write that down. Okay, write this down. Where do I want to actually live? And then write that shit down. So you can live where you actually want to live, okay? Then, okay, and even guys who tell me, well, I want to have an apartment in Manhattan, in Central Park, and I want one in Miami, and I want one in LA. It's like, dude, you can Airbnb that shit. Fuck off, okay? It's the same thing. Like, why do you need your own apartment? If obviously, here's the thing. When I say to you that you don't need your own apartment, does part of you feel like, I thought you're supposed to be a coach. Like, why are you telling me these limited goals? Like, why not have an apartment in every city, right? Here's why. Because you're only likely to live statistically as a man until you're about 75, 77. So once you hit a certain point, you're going to hit a point where you have enough that you could have got one main house and you could have got unlimited amount of baller fucking Airbnbs or hotels in any city that you want for way cheaper than if you had to buy it and just leave it sitting there gathering dust. Now, if you tell me you want to have an apartment in New York and you want to put that shit on Airbnb, and sometimes you happen to want to stay there a little bit here or there, that's different. Okay, Kevin has that, right? He occasionally will stay in his own Airbnb. But even when he stays in his own Airbnb, he didn't rent it that weekend, so he's still buying it. In which case, he could have just stayed somewhere else. So, it's not that look, if you ask me how much money do I want, if it was free and I snapped my fingers, I'd say infinity. If you said to me, do you want an apartment in every city and it was free, I'd say infinity. I'd even say I want every human on earth to be a clone of me. I want everyone to be named Owen. I want every girl to be named Owenette. I want to fuck all your wives. And I want all your guys' money. And I want a silver surfer or surfboard that goes on a rainbow through space, okay? And I want to live in a perpetual orgasm. And I want to be the president of the galaxy, okay? Like, yes, I'd like to be the galaxy president. Don't get me wrong. If I can just do it, let's go. LFG, motherfucker, let's go. But when you're giving numbers that are too high, that's baby talk, right? It means that you haven't actually thought it through. And the bigger problem is, if you told me I want to be a billionaire with an apartment in every city, I thought you'd get it. I'd encourage you to do it. But 99% of you, when you tell me you want to be a billionaire in an apartment in every city, you're never going to get it. You're just going to be making 30 grand a year until you're dead. Okay? It's like students come with me on an attraction training, and I'm like, what kind of girl do you want to be? And they're like, Victoria's Secret model. I'm like, you're not going to get a troll, bro. Okay? Like, you will not, like, no bridge troll will fuck you. But I thought I should aim high. No, that's just dumb. Like, that's just dumb. And, well, I thought you said that, like, looks don't matter, so I'm a fucking retard and I'm gonna get a Victoria's Secret model. Look, if you wanna commit in life, you can pick one thing, okay? Maybe three. I happen to have three things. That's like Leonardo da Vinci status is three things. He actually was a rare human that could do almost everything. He's a freak of nature. What do you guys think? What are my three things?
Women.
Attraction,
business building.
public speaking, and sales. Okay, like building social media businesses. That's my three things. They're kind of integrated, okay? I'm not gonna be a fucking jujitsu expert. No, that's a limiting belief, Owen. You can also be a jujitsu black belt. Dude, I am literally the top public speaker skills-wise ever to live. And I'm probably the best in my in-field skill set. And I'm probably one of the top ever in terms of sales just from organic traffic and not paid traffic. How am I gonna hear somebody who never accomplished shit tell me that's a limiting belief? Like, what's your GOAT status skill set? What's your GOAT status skill set, sir? Show me something where you're even number 30. Show me that you're ranked number 30 in the world at something, and I'll hear your bullshit about how you're gonna get a jujitsu black belt. Like, is it any surprise that I have a pot belly? Is it any surprise I'm kind of an idiot in other areas when I'm literally the best in a couple areas? You know how hard that is? Do you know how much time you have to put in? So yes, theoretically, if you love going out and learning to get better socially and learning attraction, and that's your one thing, and that's all you're gonna do, that's it. You go out 7 hours a day for a quarter century like I did, then yes, you will date a Victoria's Secret supermodel, okay? Even if you don't have any like club connections and you haven't learned all the different social circle and social media and getting into parties, you'll probably meet one on the street because you're that good. But here's the thing. I grew up lightly autistic. So it was God's plan for me to become amazing at this. Why was that God's plan? Because probably before I was born, God came to me and said, Owen, you're gonna be born as a balding, ginger, autistic leprechaun who's the most savage at attraction of any human ever born. And you are going to literally spend 20 years in massive pain, massive fear, hating your life, and then you're going to go on and you're going to reshape the fucking industry. And like, I mean, guys, do you understand how much of the industry I shaped? Do you guys actually know?
Yes, a lot.
Okay, I mean, here'd be some dumb things that are random, and then we'll talk deeper. You guys know the popular word now called MOG?
Yep.
Is that everywhere?
All the places.
Who do you think popularized the word MOG?
You did.
Every time I hear the word MOG, that's from AMOG, okay? AMOG, okay? And you're right, Cloud definitely popularized it, and Andrew. But the point is, way back, the word frame is from like Frogs and Princes, NLP, but who popularized the word frame in attraction? Me, okay? Who also showed like all the different stuff about lover provider that came from Eben Pagan and David D'Angelo, but I'm the popularizer of that. Infield footage, approaching, building skill sets. I learned some of that from other people, other mentors, but I was the guy that banged the drum. And almost the entire ideology on attraction that's taught by any coach, they don't even know where they got it from. Like I'll comment on another coach's page, just having some exchange, and they'll lecture me using my own principles. Well, didn't you know about frame? And this? I'm like, yeah, bro, I know. Go look up the Blueprint Decoded. So that's, okay, like I forgot more about this shit than other people ever knew about it, okay? Why? Because I spent my entire adult life doing infield trainings 150 days a year. Do you guys notice how comfortable I am on stage? How much public speaking do you think I've done? Psychotic amounts of public speaking. You guys also, if you watch my videos, you see me doing these little seminars. Guys, you think you know my teaching? If you've never been on an infield training with me, you don't even know what I teach. You've never even seen me teach if you've never been in field with me. Do you guys, do the math on this. If an infield training is 4 days and a seminar like this is a few hours for a couple days, what have I done mostly in teaching in my life? Mostly in field. What is the single hardest, most tightrope walk type of personal growth training in the world?
One-on-one.
Infield training. Let's go see Tony Robbins or Eckhart Tolle or Grant Cardone train on infield. Okay? You want to know the difference? I love Tony Robbins. I'm a junkie of his. I've given him tons of money. I love Tony. I recommend him. But if I'm being honest, you go to Tony, and I love Tony. What would you be doing if this is a Tony seminar? You'd be doing a power pose. You'd be jumping up and down. You maybe write something down on a Bristol board. Eventually, do a little firewalk, which is pretty dope, actually. But you think Tony's going to take you in the field? Fuck no. So you think Tony's going to take some psychologically damaged guy, bring him in the field, and train him to do the hardest thing he could ever do? No. Okay, I literally take goblin-esque, garden gnome, low self-esteem, autistic, loser nerds who should have been weeded out by biology. Biology's design for hundreds of millions of years was that this guy would never have a child, okay? The entire purpose of sex is for this guy to go childless. He should never have sex ever, okay? Never have sex. Never. People are like, well, oh, your ancestors had sex. Yes, but statistically speaking, what percentage of men reproduce?
Half.
A small amount. And the further back you go, the more that it was the top guy. So you're training someone like that, and think of the balls, the brass balls that you have to have as a teacher to be like, I'm amazing at this, and then like, I'll demo it for you. Like, let's just go demo it. I'll just, okay, fish in a barrel, I'll demo it. But then, after I demo it, and I'll demo the shit in a fucking wheelchair, by the way. I did the shit in a wheelchair, because I was injured, okay? Then, I'm gonna get you doing it, which is impossible. That just doesn't happen, okay? Let me say this again. That doesn't happen. And I'm so good at this that I'll have guys that get to like 80% my level, took me a quarter century to get to. Guys in 2-3 days will be at 80% my level, and they'll be complaining they can't quite do what I do. Do you know what a compliment, like when it comes to, well, I'm not quite where you are. I mean, we've been doing this for 2 days. You know, right? Like I feel like there's like something slightly missing to get fully where you are, okay? Do you know what a compliment that is? Why is that a compliment?
Because you're able to train them.
That's like I got 100 mil and I get you to 90 mil in 2 days. And you're like, well, man, I'm a little frustrated. I can't quite get to the 100 mil. I'm like, well, you know, that might take a bit of time after the training. So, as an analogy, not literally, okay? So what I'm saying is, like, that's how good I am at coaching, that I will have the hardest case guys. up and running within days, okay? But that's a fucking surgery and a half. That is the hardest version of self-help. Guys, greatest fear is women. They're internally damaged. Their communication fucking sucks. They're super creepy. And I've got like a couple days to fix that shit. And I've got to do that while I'm doing my thing and I'm demoing it. Do you know what a bad mood it puts you in? Watching some guy struggling, how logical that makes you, in your head that makes you. You're trying to coach somebody else, but you know what they all say? They go, well, let's see you do it. Here, you demo it. If you're in the middle of a fucking surgery, okay, you're in a goddamn surgery, how hard is it to shift gears into a fun mode that women like and then go generate attraction on command? Do you know how hard that is?
Really hard.
That was the hardest thing out of all my training. I've always been great at going out, building my own momentum and having a killer night myself. I've always been great at pushing other people. Do you guys see how my personality is now? Would this be good for meeting women?
Yes.
No, terrible, horrible. Even the women here are looking at me like, this guy gets women, like, this guy, I would never go near this guy. This is me motivating guys. Do you guys see how every part of my personality is built to pierce over the loud music in like a bar or club or street environment and just take over and hijack your whole fucking brain? Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
It's like this brain hijack, like, you're gonna do this. It's like a brain hijacking voice. That's because I learned that from years of going out. I gotta be able to hijack your entire fucking brain. Okay, and get you to my level as fast as possible. So that is the hardest kind of coaching that you can do, okay? But let me tell you something about me. I always pick the hardest way I can, okay? I love difficult coaching, okay? I remember back in the day, Julian would always be like, oh, this guy's like a hard case. I'd be like, send him to me. Julian would be like, I think this guy literally threatened to shoot me. Like, this guy literally said, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm like, no, give it to me. Yeah, you know, and then I'd make videos, send them to Julian. I'd be like, Julian, I hear I'm talking to Greg here. Hey, Greg, talk to Julian. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, you know, like it's like a psychopath, right? Like the guy's nuts. I'm like, I got him, right? You know, right? I'm like, he's just kidding. And then I'll literally coach that guy out of like, I mean, again, I don't advertise this or whatever. I'm not like claiming that I could do it. I'm not a doctor. Medical doctor should be that guy. Obviously, I'm gonna tell him to get a psychiatrist. But I'm like, well, let's see like what's under the hood. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to actually encourage him a little bit. But obviously, tell him to get a shrink too, and you know, send him to a doctor. Point I'm saying is like, I like the hard student. I like it. Give me the wheelchair guy. Give me the brokey. Give me the low self-esteem guy. All the other coaches only want rich clients. So like, it's easier to get rich clients. I'm like, yeah, I got rich clients. I got billionaire clients. But I don't only want to coach billionaire clients because I want to be the best. Some things money can't buy. You know what that is? Being the best. If you only coach billionaires, are you the best? No. Maybe you're coaching billionaires, but you're not the best. You want to be the best? You gotta, iron sharpens iron, baby. Give me the hardest type of training, worst type of students. Give me the hardest kind of environments to make videos, everything. Make it all hard, okay? You know why? It's a video game. Any of y'all ever get really good at a video game, and then now you beat the story mode, you beat the average mode, you beat the hard mode. What mode do you want to put on next?
Super hard.
Super hard mode, right? Where you get killed if like you get hit one time. That's why I do this. It's not that I'm irrational. People do it with a video game, but they don't know why but they don't do it in business because they just want money. Money is the least enjoyable thing in business. The purpose of business is spiritual awakening. The money is just an after effect that just gives you something to blow some cash on or whatever. Like, you know, you want to go get like a cool watch or, you know, like a place to crash your head down at night. The money is the least of it. It's more the enjoyment of the business itself, okay? But anyway, let me just circle back. So talking about that kind of a thing, right? Like when I tell you what kind of business you want to build, what I need you to do is come up with something that you're passionate about, that you like doing, and that energizes you. In other words, this is a bit extreme, but I'll explain it more later. Something that gives you God's protection, okay? In other words, if you're doing something here that you're not meant to do, God will remove the protection cloak from you, and everything will be bad, okay? So for example, when I talk here about my passion for teaching and hard clients, what am I really after? The money is a joke. Money is nothing. Money is the easy part. The first 20, 30 mil is easy. So if all you gotta do to make $30 million is like get a little client list, craft an offer, learn about sales conversions. I'll show all that stuff to you. I'm not saying I can guarantee you'll get that. That's on you. I won't say what I really think, but the point is like, that's on you. But what I'm saying is even more important than that is God's protection, is flow states, is growth. I'm 46 years old. Most guys that are 46, what's happened in their brain already initially? What's happening to the average brain of somebody pushing 50? It's shrinking, calcifying. They're more like an adult. I look more like what? A baby, right? I'm a baby. I'm like a 2-year-old in a grown man's body. That's real wealth. Growing up is horrible. Never grow up. That's the worst punishment on earth is growing up. My God, kill me now. I look at these grown-ups, I'm like, kill me, kill me, kill me. Kill me, kill me, kill me. Die, 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 because you're already dead. People die, man, their body dies at 78, whatever, but man, they die at fucking 30, bro. I got friends, their body's still running around, but they're dead. Their soul is dead, okay? Look, the second you can't laugh at a fart joke, okay? Like, the second that you can't laugh at some dumb shit, you're dead. The whole point is like to throw the biggest parties, have fun with your friends, be a retard. Real wealth is being a retard. That is the ultimate version of wealth, okay? Being a fucking retard. Okay, what does a beard like this signify? I'm like a kid. I can grow a gray Santa Claus beard. Fuck you. Okay, that's what it means. How about the jewelry that I wear? What's that signify? Fuck you. I'll buy whatever I want. I want to wear a rapper chain, I'll wear a rapper chain. Fuck you. I will do whatever I want, okay? I will do whatever I want. That's wealth, okay? Having $1 billion versus 30 million or something, that's not real wealth. When I look at Zuckerberg, who's one of the richer guys I'd ever trained, look how stressed he is. You see that look on his face? Yeah. Would you ever want the poor man, and he's trying, I love fucking some of the things he's trying to do, but man, he's stressed, dude. The poor guy is stressed. You know what I'm saying? Look how he had to walk on eggshells for the past period of time. Everyone's pulling at him, threatening him. He's got governments threatening him. It fucking sucks, bro. I promise you he wishes he had that. I coach MySpace Tom. You guys know MySpace Tom? Yeah. That was his competitor. Tom just does whatever the fuck he wants, man. Tom cashed out at 50 mil. He has so much fun, bro. Tom's always happy. He's taking photos, meeting girls, traveling around. Man, who's richer, Zuck or Tom? Tom's way richer than fucking Zuck, bro. Well, okay, over-optimization, that's not real wealth, right? If for you to have the biggest muscles ever, you got to shoot steroids every day and eat chicken breast and measure broccoli and chicken breast and macros, unless that's your real passion, you're going to be miserable. If that's your real passion, then yeah, fuck yeah, if that's your real passion. If your real passion is being a billionaire, then fuck yeah, for some people it actually is. But what I'm saying is, why do you guys think for me, why was this my protection from God?
It's what you're meant to do.
It's what I'm meant to do. Do you guys see how my energy moves? At home, you'll never see that from the video, right? Because here's what happens, right? Watch this. If you're at home listening, watch this. Okay, talk quietly.
Check 1, 2.
Yeah, talk maybe slightly louder.
Check 1, 2.
Okay, at home, that will sound as loud as this. Okay, because it mic balances. But do you guys see how my voice fills a room effortlessly? Yeah. That's energy movement. What you're seeing there is the movement of energy, okay? So do you guys see how I have this weird vibe of infinite energy? Yeah. That's because I do. Why do I have infinite energy? I mean, I have to sleep at some point. You're free. Because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, okay? Look, for some guys, okay, you know how they tell you that you shouldn't teach broke clients? Okay, the stereotype with broke clients is this, okay? They say, here's a joke in internet marketing. It's a big joke in internet marketing. They go $50 client, gave you 50 bucks. Hey there, it's Greg. I sent you the 50 bucks. My life's about to change, and your life is definitely about to change. What does that mean? That guy who's broke for 50 bucks, that guy is literally gonna make you call him for 900 hours. He's gonna complain and complain and complain the entire time. After he takes 900 hours from you for $50, he's gonna refund you, and he's gonna make a blog about how you ruin his life, okay? Why is that? Because it's a spiritual, satanic, psychological condition that made him broke in the first place. So what they tell you is, in the same meme, they put rich client, or they put $100,000, they put $50 client, $50,000 client. $50,000 client. Hey man, wired you the 50K. Really excited, and if I learn one great nugget out of it, I'm happy. Right? So what they teach you is always have rich clients. But do you want to know the truth? Here's the truth. Many of you are not able to get rich clients. Yeah. You want to know why? They'll never tell you this. I will. It's not your purpose. You're not put here to have an easy life. Some of you are not here to have an easy life. Some of you here should have broke clients. And you want to know what will happen if you try to get rich clients? They won't believe you. You're not going to be successful because you're not qualified to teach rich clients. You're not really someone who they admire, and you don't resonate with it. That's just not you. My buddy Marcel Klein, who I'm partnered with on a bunch of stuff, Marcel loves teaching almost only rich clients. He's Jake Paul's coach. Jake has many coaches, but he's like a major coach for Jake Paul. He likes teaching billionaires. If you look at Marcel, Marcel's deal with God before he came to the earth was, I'm a coach for rich motherfuckers. Marcel attracts rich clients like moths to a flame. Is it learnable? Yes, it's learnable. I also have a lot of rich clients. But it's learnable because his soul craves them. It's like a divine match of him and a billionaire. It's like a divine match. Can you guys tell what animates me? What do you guys think animates me?
Public speaking.
Healing losers. Okay? Healing losers. It's true. It's actually true. Right? I do free events. I do free videos. When I put out a 7-hour free video, what am I trying to do? Heal losers. Okay? I want to heal a loser. So when I heal a loser, I'm not going to get paid from it. If anything, I'm going to get some weird loser who takes my training and then just causes trouble because losers cause trouble. Like they tell you, keep away from losers. They'll infect you. It's a law of infection. But for whatever reason, I have a spiritual mission to help a loser. But I'm kind of in the middle because some of my clients are mega fucking rich. And then that helps me to do a free event for the loser. No offense. So, but you see what I'm getting at here? I'm clowning you guys. But you see what I'm getting at, right? So what do I get as payment by helping the loser because of my divine mission? What do I get out of it?
Fulfillment.
I get this. What you see here. I get to live in this, aka endless energy, endless intelligence, endless focus, and being the best. The only way you become the best is if you do what you're meant to do. So I've got to coach hard clients. I hate it. They're fucking demonic, a lot of them. They're sick in the head, and they're really hard. But I will sit there with them coaching these deranged fucks. And I'll be like, bro, we're going to the top. We're going to the fucking top. I don't care how hard up you are. I'm not going to give up on you. I'm going to peer pressure you. I'm going to leverage you. I'm going to coach you. I know you're going to turn sideways on me someday. I know you're a ticking time bomb. I know you're probably never going to fully get it, but I'm going to fucking try. I'm going to heal you, okay? I'm going to heal you. I have a passion for that. But I also like to show a rich guy how to get what he wants to. I like coaching everybody. I like coaching guys in the middle. I coach everybody, okay? Understand that if you want to make a lot of money, you've got to figure out what you're here to do. Why are you here? That was mine. Look, you know how I coach guys on some of the harsher truths of dating women? You don't think I don't want to be one of those women panderer coaches? Every part of my being wants to be a woman panderer coach. It'd be so much easier. Look how awesome this would be. Okay, watch this. Instead of getting fucking bad press, lied about, media attacking me, and all this shit, I could be like, you know what, guys? Women are angels. They're perfect angels. And you should worship them. Then I'll never have a bad media article. I'll never get misrepresented. I'll never get attacked. And women will come and have sex with me. That'd be great. But watch. They're angels. They're perfect. What's happening to my soul?
You're killing it.
I'm losing my soul. I'm giving away my soul. If I see that poor guy who sucks and I don't help him, I'm giving away my soul, right? So I don't only do that, but I'm giving away what I'm built to do. Many of you guys here are not designed to be a billionaire. You will lose God's protection if you try to become a billionaire. That's not a limiting belief. It's not a limiting belief. Anyone can do 5, 10 mil if they focus, in my opinion, in my experience. But I can't guarantee that. I'm not guaranteeing you that or anything. I'm not selling you that. I'm just saying that in my experience. But like you should try to get the amount of money that's right for you. What is the right amount of money for you? What is the thing that gives you energy? What is the thing that gives you passion? What is the thing that makes it where you never get sick again? You see what I'm saying? Look, I don't know why I didn't get sick for 15 years, but is it a coincidence how my energy moves and that I didn't get sick for 15 years? I don't know. I'm not a medical doctor. But if you're guessing, what would be common sense?
High vibration.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So in other words, you walk with God. You're walking, if you don't believe in God, you're walking with, maybe it's what your genetics are here to do. Look, what happens if LeBron James doesn't go win a bunch of championships and he just becomes a lawyer and accountant?
No one knows who he is.
Not just less famous, but what else happens to him? What happens to LeBron's soul if he doesn't go do what he's doing?
It gets extinguished.
His soul dies. Look, guys, when I say you don't want to be an adult, what do I mean? I mean you don't want to give away your fucking soul. You see what I'm saying? You're giving your fucking soul away when you become an adult. Here's what an adult means. It just means you gave up your soul. That's an adult. You just gave up your soul. You did that boring bullshit thing you hate for the money, and then the sad thing is it doesn't even work. Like, I've coached over the years that are making like 200, 300K a year, and they go, when do we get to sell out? Like, I just want to sell out. How do we go like mainstream? I just want to sell out. I'm like, but you're not built like that. Like, the masses don't want you. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's say that you had say that you're like a rapper, right? And you had a niche following. Say you're like a musician. You had like a really badass little niche following. And you're making like $500,000 a year, 700K a year. And you're like, well, I want to sell out. Does it ever work? You know who's one of the best guys who, like, I wouldn't say sold out at all, but like, try to go a bit more mainstream? Fivio Foreign. You guys know Fivio? Yeah. He's like an amazing rapper. Kind of dark, kind of like pretty dark stuff, but he's amazing, right? Like incredible rapper. So he made an album with like Kanye, and he tried to make it more mainstream, and it just wasn't his best shit. Fivio's just not built like that. He's not built to be. Fivio's just not that guy. He's not Bieber. You guys ever heard Fivio? Yeah. Right? He's got some serious rhyming ability, right? Fivio Foreign. But he's like, he created this genre called drill rap that's like pretty dark. But it's like, as much as it's very dark, it's real to him. Like, that's who he is. So while that rap is like pretty dark stuff, but it's real. Like, some of his stuff, man, even though it's very dark, and I don't agree with what he's like maybe promoting, it's real. There's an authenticity to it. It has power. He made his album with Kanye. There were some dope tracks on it. I liked it. He did a great job. It was a great album. But why did it never go mainstream? How come it never went mainstream? Well, it's not his soul's mission to go mainstream, right? But that guy's still loaded. He still got millions of dollars. He still has endless girls. He has a fan base. So why not go do good for them, right? The truth is, if I ever tried to be mainstream, could I even really do it? Could I even really do it? Yeah. Look at what it would look like. Hey, I'd have to look like I'm Tony. Hey guys, who here has a limiting belief? Does anyone here have fear of being seen? Does anyone here have depression? Who here would like to make an extra $1,000 this month? Like, I would die, okay? I would die. I try to do it, and I just be like, I would die. I get in a car accident the same day. I get in a car accident the same day. Same day I get in a car accident, I would just die, okay? Because the truth is, I'm hyper psycho, super aggressive, fucking just like funny as fuck. I'm fucking wild. I'm passionate. I'm a caveman. I'm like a weird high-pitched voice caveman. Like, I'm a garden gnome caveman. I just like to ball out. I don't know what I can tell you. Like, I love big-ass parties. I throw the biggest parties in LA a lot of time. Huge parties. I like to fuck. I just like to fuck. I don't know what I can tell you. I wish I didn't. I have a high sex drive. I like to fuck. I like to go to big-ass dinners with my friends. I like to eat. I don't tell you, I like to eat, right? All these guys like, well, what about your macros? I'm like, fuck your macros. I want to eat. Like, I mean, I'm here in Nashville. I'm getting like a fucking chicken sandwich, bro. I don't like, but what about your abs? I don't care. Chicken sandwich. I don't give a shit, okay? What if you die? Don't care. Okay? That's a bad role model. No, you're all gonna die, bro. You're all gonna die. Look, I'm not saying go kill yourself, like bad health and stuff, but look, probably when I'm older, I'll just lead up and stuff so I don't get like a heart attack. But the point I'm getting is this, right? I want to have fun. You know what I'm saying? Like yesterday, we hiked up on a tank-sized grizzly bear. You guys want to see it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we're out hiking. We're in Gatlinburg. We're hiking, and the grizzly bear the size of a fucking tank like walked up on us. That's living, man. Fuck the money. I want a fucking grizzly bear to almost kill me. We had to run across the stream. It was so fun. You know? Like, that's living, bro. Fuck sitting there like, let's just make money at home. Grizzly bear's scary. No, grizzly bear's not scary. It's entertaining. Well, what if it kills you? What if you die of old age, bro, like a bitch? Okay? Who wants to die of old age? You know what I mean? You want to die of old age? Come on. Boring. I want to die something cool. Like this.
We got
black beer. Just having some food.
Can you see it? It's like a dot in the phone, but it's a big boy. We walked right up on it, like from here to the cameras. It was on the bridge where we just walked over. It was right, it's huge.
Aggressive. They're protecting their cubs or something.
Ibrahim's trying to keep it cool.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea. They got a baby.
Right? Yeah, like, okay, so say like, I'm afraid to skydive. Okay, you die skydiving, that's fucking awesome. Like, why are you a bitch? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, a bear. Why are you such a bitch? Like, okay, alternative lifestyle. Wait, like, get very old. Like, watch Jeopardy. Sit there on your fucking Porsche. Then, like, complain about the past. And then just, like, get a cancer diagnosis or heart attack. And then die? That's boring. Okay, please. You know how I'd like to die? Okay, my top choice. I'll give it to you. I never even thought of this before. Okay, number one would be sick public speaking. That'd be sick. Okay? I'm like, listen, bitch. You didn't like, don't be fucking pussy. You fucking pussy. And then I just go like that. I'm like, pussy. And I just die. That'd be sick. Okay? That'd be like probably my top. Okay? Another one would be fucking a bad bitch, right? You're just like, right? You're like, they just go, oh. And she's like, yeah, come in, daddy, come, daddy. And you're like, oh. She's like, yes, come to me, daddy. And you're like, you just die. And she's like, ah, like that. That would be sick, okay? Or like in a threesome. That'd be fucking fun, right? Or like out hiking, you're like, I'm like, okay, you know who is so cool? This guy was awesome. Okay, so I'm hanging out this weekend with a girl who does rap. She's a rapper chick. She's a black girl, right? She's really cool. You'll see her later. But anyway, so we're hanging out, and she's like, y'all do white people shit. I'm like, what's white people shit? She's like, y'all are crazy. Like, you guys don't even have any fear. I'm like, that's probably not true, right? Anyway, literally within hours, I take her up. We're like hiking up in Gatlinburg. And there was another bear there too. But anyway, this old white dude and his white wife, he like comes in, he's like, and Terrence was in the back, and he's like, Terrence like, there's a bear over here. And like the old white guy's like, there's a bear? Come here, Julia. We're gonna go see the bear, right? And he's just like, he can barely walk. He's just like, come on, Julia, bear in here. Like, dude, are you crazy? Like, that's even crazy for me. And like he starts trying to follow the bear down the hill, right? He's going down the side of a cliff. He can't, like the cliff alone would be super dangerous, let alone the bear on the cliff. He just wants to get up close on this huge bear, right? And so the girl I'm with, you guys will meet her later, she's like, that's what I told you, that's that white people shit, right? I'm like, she's like, he has no fear. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of fucked up. But that'd be a great way to die. Like, you're with your wife, right? You're like, come on, Julia, let's go see the bear. You know, you go down the cliff and it just mauls you. That'd be an awesome way to die, right? Or you could even paint yourself in honey, you know? Or you could like, maybe do like some crazy wingsuiting thing, right? Like you just like some crazy wingsuit, you just like flying and hit a tree. Or you could like go like watch the sunset in Big Sur, like on the side of a cliff and just like roll forward. That could be a fun one. Or abducted by aliens could be a fun one, right? Or die in battle, like maybe there's like some crazy war against like the AI apocalypse, like from Terminator. And then you just like, you're like 80 and you like get like the AK and you're like, fuck these motherfuckers, and then they just kill you. That's a fun way to die, right? Not sitting there like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sit there like I'm gonna get old, and you know, plus I don't want to eat the chicken sandwich. I'm afraid of the chicken sandwich. I need to have my abs. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. You're literally dead. Okay? Why don't you have a soul? You know who's afraid to die? People that have no soul. They're super scared to die. I'm crazy excited to die. I'm ready now. Is that weird?
No.
I'm totally ready to go. I've had a great life. I'm curious what's next. You know what I'm saying? So why are you living in all these fear factors? Look, you should manage risk. Yes, manage risk, but you know, don't disrespect your life. That's dumb. But don't be afraid of dying. That's the most exciting. Okay? The only reason I'm still here is for the UFO disclosure. That's it. Okay? I want to see the UFO. Okay? And maybe the AI apocalypse. I'll stay here for that. But I've already done everything. It's like I've been in the amusement park. I've done everything. I've done every ride. Why do you think I tell you guys don't need to be a billionaire? I tell you that because this is like an amusement park, and the money is paying for the amusement park, right? That's the point of the money, is to pay for the amusement park. So if you're gonna go do every ride, look, if you go to become a billionaire, you might not have time to do all the rides. That's like you bought all these tokens, and you're like, come here, Ma, let's get some tokens. And you're like, I got all these tokens. Now we get a ride. And then you just died. Right? You have all the tokens, but you didn't get the toys. You didn't get to have fun. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. Right? So people will say, they'll be like, well, what? You're just teaching like hedonism? No, I'm not. I'm saying be super fucking rich, be accomplished, help people, help a brokey, help people that are having a hard time, do what you're passionate about and be the best in the world. I'm not saying just have fun. I'm saying do that and have fun.
Yeah.
You can walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. You can be rich and have parties. You can be rich and get laid. You can be rich and travel. You can be rich and raise kids. I got 3 sons. We go everywhere together. My kids are literally lightning in a bottle right now with their mom. I bet it's like a crazy ass festival. They're there right now. So I'll show you the videos. So the point, right? Like, look, this is my kids right now. Like literally like at a fucking crazy ass festival. Right? Let's see. 1 second. Right? Does that make sense, guys? That's real wealth. You know what I'm saying? How is wealth just money? And my kids are like this weird ass like festival, like watching all these like flotillas and shit. He's like pass out right now. You know, like they're out swimming and like they're like at a crazy ass music festival swimming. That's money, right? Isn't that money? What if you can't spend the money? Why make the money if you can't spend the money? That's dumb, right? I've been almost every national park. Why? The point is to spend the money. Get rid of it. I'm not doing this shit where like I make billions of dollars, I give it all to Bill Gates. You see how these guys do that shit? They go to Bill Gates and he turns out he's all up with like Epstein and shit. Man, that'd be imagine you like made billions of dollars, gave it to Bill Gates and then the Epstein thing came out. You're like, damn it. Damn it. Does it make sense what I'm saying, right? So the point is to ball out, right? Real wealth is like, listen, let me explain to you. The reason why the teachers don't tell you the truth about this is because they're miserable themselves. They're fucking miserable themselves. They made a bunch of money, but they're in a cope. Excessive amounts of money is a cope, okay? So if somebody, look, there's like, if you're Napoleon and you literally just like, it is your divine destiny to like unify Europe or some shit, then yeah. If you're Elon, then yeah. Because that's divine mission. But what I want for you guys is I want you to figure out the following things. I'm gonna do an exercise with you guys, okay? I'm gonna give you an exercise in a minute. I'm gonna get you to work with each other, and then I'll come back. I'm trying to prime you right now. Here's what I'm priming you on, okay? First of all, how much energy do I get from doing this?
A lot.
How much? Okay, what is me doing a free event like this, what is this doing for me?
Giving you reps in public speaking.
What could I even buy that's better than what I'm doing now? Maybe something, I don't know what, but probably something. What could I physically buy better than how I feel in this moment? Heroin. Perhaps. Right? But do you guys see what I'm saying? But why do I feel the way I feel now? Is it just because I'm public speaking? Why do I feel this way?
Aligned with your purpose.
Because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So what I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm not getting sick. Again, maybe that's just random, I don't know. I'm not getting sick. I get energy from it. I get a high off of it. I feel good, and I get good at it. I get really, really, really good at it, okay? So that's the other thing that's so dope that nobody talks about. Is it about the money, or is it about being the best, right? Or being your best? You know what I'm saying? Being the best you could be, right? The pride that comes from being the best you could be, that's priceless. The feeling of that. Do you guys understand why I say looks and money don't matter when it comes to attraction? When I walk into a room, do you think I ever put another man above myself?
No.
I always feel like I'm the top guy. Or if there's another top guy, I'm down to share the throne. I'm not even competitive like that. I actually like it if there's another top guy. I'm like, oh, like if there's another, like whenever I see like another top dude, we're always like, yo, like we know, I'm like, yo, you're the top guy, I'm the top guy, we're the top guy. Like we know, like I'll become friends with that guy in a millisecond. I'll see like another guy like that, I'll be like, dude, what's up? Bro, these people are crazy, poor people. Let's be friends for life. Like we just become friends for life instantly. So it's not even competitive like that. You know, like look at me and Marcel. Like we're both good at meeting girls. We're doing parties. He's got 300 girls. I've got 300 girls. We both got huge mansions. This week we'll do a 600 girl party at your mansion. This week we'll do it at my mansion. You know, let's join. Sometimes me and Marcel will join seminars together. You got a couple hundred people. I got a couple hundred people. Let's go up. Let's do some affiliates together. We're not even competitive like that, right? So when you have like another top guy, you want to team up. But so then you're not even competitive. But when you're on that level, you walk into a room and you know you're the fucking man. But if someone else is the man too, you can share. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. So you got to share. That's better to me than you. Anyway, so the point being is like, some people got that. So yeah, so the point being is like, be the best. But how do you be the best? Like what if I just said like, no, I'm going to compete with Elon, so I have to be a trillionaire. But what if that's not my purpose?
Burn out.
I'd burn out. I'd be miserable. I'd be tired. I wouldn't like it. Now, conversely, most people don't have the luxury to sell out for $1 billion. What do most people sell out for? Oh my God! Oh my God! What do most people sell out for?
For 9 to 5.
Like $30K a year. Oh my God! Oh my God! That's crazy work. Can you imagine selling your soul for $30K? Holy shit. When social media exists, when all these business courses exist, you sold your soul for like $100K, man, that's crazy. It's gonna kill you. You're gonna hate your life. It's not even gonna kill you like in a cool way, like the way we described earlier. It's gonna kill you in a miserable way, okay? So what I'm trying to show you is that the real payoff in banking cash is pick what you're here to do and find a way to monetize it. Repeat this after me. Pick what you're here to do, find a way to monetize it, okay? And then what you'll basically realize is you will figure out why you're here, what you're here to do, what you like about it, and then find a way to monetize that shit. Look, even if you only made $150K a year, which is pretty shit, that'd be terrible, but even if you only made $150K a year, but it's really what you're built to do, and like you tried every way to monetize it, I told you all these ways to monetize it, none of it worked, but that'd be pretty bad. But say you got stuck at $300K a year, and every single way I told you to monetize it just didn't work, but it was what gave you passion and energy, and it woke you up. That's rich. That's rich. Rich is not just money, guys. Money is just entry point. It's like when you date a lot of amazing women, the girl being attractive, that's just the starting point, right? Like if you've got your choice of litter with women, her being physically attractive is the starting point. Hot, who cares? Who even cares? That's just the entry level. Hot is entry level. Hot is basic. That's basic. Being rich, like having 20, 30 mil, that's basic. That's not even good. That's basic. So what I'm trying to show you here is that real wealth is what? Joy, bucket list items, sex, good food, being hyper smart, being spiritually tapped in, growing your soul via what it is that you do. You're not dissociating with social media, not with drugs. All these motherfuckers do drugs. Man, that's crazy. Man, you're taking drugs, you're drinking, you're fucking crazy. Well, it gives me creativity. Yeah, bro, that's what you need for your creativity, drugs. Okay? Well, I saw my life from a different perspective. Yes, I get it, that was meaningful to you, but there's other ways to do that, okay, that don't hammer your brain, okay? And it's not gonna kill you if you do it. No, you can survive anything, but don't keep doing it over and over. So, now the room's real quiet. You're like, wait a minute, what? So, what about that machine elf that, I saw the sacred geometry. So, guys, what I'm trying to show you here is unlimited creativity. You want real creativity? Unlimited creativity, unlimited power, unlimited money if you want, because you can find ways to monetize it more. But what I'm getting at here is real wealth is having fun, doing what you're here to do, finding ways to monetize that shit with different monetization models, which means generating leads, creating following, having an offer, selling the offer, and converting on the offer, and then from there doing what expands you. And everyone has a different thing, okay? Look, Tony Robbins was just built to be the mainstream self-help coach. You know what I'm saying? Tony likes talking to that little old lady about how she's a victim. I don't. Right? I don't want to go to a little old lady and be like, hey, babe, I told him about the white people shit story. Tell him about the bear we saw yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Tell him what we saw.
A black bear. And we broke and we went the other way.
I told him about the old man, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I want to see the bear. And he climbed down, he went to the bottom of the hill. He's like, yeah, I don't care. And the wife's like, yeah, he's just so adventurous.
That'd be a great way to die, though. So, yeah, he's ready. He didn't care. He's like, let's go. I mean, that sounds crazy, but like when you're that age, why not? So, okay, but guys, anyway, what I'm getting at with you guys is Real wealth, sex, restaurants, parties, travel, mission, soul, expansion, growth, gaining energy from work, being the best that you can possibly be, movement of energy, and it heals you. It literally heals you when you're doing what you want to do. It's a healing process. Creativity is healing. You're channeling God's energy, moving it through you and healing you. The greatest joy on earth is not being, here in summary, it's not being a taker, like I do this thing I hate so I can be a taker. It's being a giver of what you're here to do, channeling into God, channeling into source, and moving energy out. Moving energy out. That's why Jesus shows it's about giving, not just about taking. You've got to receive as well, but it's about giving, not taking. That energy of giving, of what you're really here to do and give your gift, that's what's going to make you the most happy, okay? And this is why a lot of my clients that are very wealthy, why didn't they come to me? They literally come to me for one reason and one reason only. They go, I don't know why I made all this money and I thought I'd get what you have. I thought I'd become my own version of what you have, but I didn't get it, right? In the movie The Social Network with about Zuckerberg, he goes and approaches this girl. She doesn't like him, so what's he say? We got to grow Facebook. We got to grow Facebook. Because it's actually very sad, right? It shows like low self-esteem. He thinks if he grows Facebook, he'll get a girl. Okay? So most of these guys, they bank cash, and they get betrayed by their partners. They get attacked by government and regulators. They hate what it is that they're doing. They get no joy from it. And then look what happened with Steve Jobs. Got cancer, died. Maybe he's passionate, maybe he wasn't, but you know my point, right? You just die. So life, you got to understand it as being very short, okay? Life is a blink. Gone. It's a fucking blink. Do you guys remember, anyone here follow me for like a couple decades? Put your hands up, anyone here follow me for a couple decades? Do you remember back when I was like the young teacher? Like I was like the kid teacher. I'm 22, Mystery's in his 30s, and I'm like this little kid. Now I'm fucking bald, I got a gray beard, and I'm the old guy. I'm probably older than most of you. I came in younger than everybody, and I got shit out the other end old. Why'd that happen? Life just burns by. You have nothing to be afraid of. Don't be afraid of anything. You have no fear, nothing to fear. It's just, guys, this is like we're at an amusement park for one day. What are you gonna do? Accumulate a bunch of tokens, have no tokens, or get the right amount of tokens, right? This is, how old are you?
65.
How fast did life burn by? Tell them.
Yeah, it goes quick.
Tell them.
You still think you're, 25 or 30. You feel like that on the inside.
Yeah.
You still got the energy and stuff, but it's like, holy shit, what happened the past 10 years, you know?
It just, it feels like how fast does a decade feel like when you're older?
A year.
For me, a week.
Yeah.
The years are just flying by. They just fly by. I have no fear because I know I'm already dead. I know my soul goes on. This is a brief experience, okay? It's very fast, okay? So be fearless. Be absolutely fearless. Not an idiot. Respect yourself, but be fearless, okay? So what I'm going to get you guys to do, I want you guys to get together, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you talk amongst each other about, because I'm going to show you a bunch of monetization models. I'm going to show you different ways you can monetize, different ways of making cash, all sorts of different cool ways to make cash. It'll be super sick, okay? So I'll show you guys all that. I'll show you how to make money with what you're passionate about. I'll give you all the models. It'll be awesome. But I want you guys to get together, and I want you guys to discuss with each other what it is that you're actually passionate about, but not some bullshit like, well, I really like basketball. Maybe I could be in the NBA. Okay? You're not going to be in the NBA. No one in here is going to be in the NBA. No one here is going to make NCAA. Most of you here are not going to be on your high school basketball team. So I don't want to hear NBA, okay? Not just some dumb shit, okay? That's unoriginal, like basketball, okay? That's not you. You're not here to play basketball. Unless someone here is, let me know. But tell me something you can monetize. Tell me something people would pay you for, okay? Because it has to be to serve others, not just some selfish little dipshit stuff, okay? It should be, so again, let's look at the thing. One is I'm going to ask you how much money you need to make. So 2 main exercises here. The first one is in the exercise, how much money do I need to make? Write that down. How much money do I need to make? How much money I got to make? In other words, remember I said earlier, don't tell me, I need a house in every city. No, you don't. You get an Airbnb for that. I need a giant boat. I need a yacht. No, you don't. Look, listen. In LA, you can, for $35 or some shit, you can take a yacht to Catalina Island. It's very fun. I don't call it $50, whatever the fuck it is. Let's call it $50. If you tell me every day that I can, I drive to that fucking yacht and I go on that yacht. I love being on a yacht, and that's like what you've been doing. Like you're psycho-ass obsessed with a fucking yacht. If that's you, maybe you need a yacht. If you're like, man, every chance I get that I can get on a sailboat, I'm on that sailboat. I'm obsessed. Then yes, maybe you need a yacht. If you tell me, you know what I'm passionate about? Designing my own apartment with like my posters and my dishes, and like all I do all day is interior design. I love interior design. And like you're just completely obsessed with interior design, maybe then you need an apartment in every city because you love interior design. But if you just say, I want a yacht and an apartment in every city and I want to be a billionaire, that's unoriginal. That's you getting out of God's protection. That's you saying your favorite artist is Taylor Swift. What's my favorite artist? Bieber. What kind of person's favorite artist is Taylor Swift? An NPC. Literally. It's an NPC. Okay? But there might be that one girl who loves Taylor Swift, for real. Not because everybody else does, but there's something about Taylor Swift's life that resonates with that girl. But mostly, what does it say about you if you're a Swiftie? NPC. It's an NPC. Okay? So in the same way, like, what if I had tried to be the Taylor Swift of personal growth? Right? Like, you know what life's about? It's about hugging your children at night at a nice dinner and not being a victim and not having limiting beliefs. What would happen to my soul if I did that? Yeah, but you want to know who is good at that? Lewis Howes. You know who is good at that? Shetty. They like it. Shetty loves that shit. Shetty's like, it's just all about positivity. And he loves that shit. Okay? And for the right person, it makes sense. But I'm not Shetty. I wish I was. I wish I was Jay Shetty. I wish I was Lewis Howes. I'd just be like, hey, y'all, it's just all about believe in yourself. Right? I'd like to be that guy. I'd have less controversy. I wouldn't have the media attacking me. I wouldn't have all the shit. I wouldn't have to be like, then when we do trading, we go out and do the hardest trading ever. While crazed losers complain. Okay? My life would be way easier. But what would happen if my trading was like, we're gonna do a seminar, and at the seminar you're gonna write down your goals in a piece of paper as my main seminar. I'm actually about to get you to do that, by the way. But the point is, that was my main thing I did, not my real trading out there. What would it do to me? Death. I should believe God would kill me. I'm serious. I believe that. I believe I would die. If I started doing that shit, I believe I would die. God would go, enough of this guy. Give him restart. Start again, bitch. Okay? So, for whatever reason, when I go into my deepest truth, this is the dumb shit that comes out. Okay? I wish it wasn't. I wish I was Jay Shetty. You know what I mean? I wish I was like a woman pandering coach. I love those. Man, I look at those women pandering coaches. Like, they're always like, you know what the real truth is? Women are queens who need to be worshipped. And then all these girls come, they're like, yes, you're right. And like, okay? Like, I'd love it if like, when I meet a girl out and I tell her about my YouTube channel, I didn't have to like explain it. You know what I mean? Like, right now I meet a girl out of it, like, look, like, I have this like kind of weird channel. Like, I am a good guy. Like, don't mind me. I'm like kind of autistic. Like, I'm a good person. Like, please don't be mad. Right? And then like the girl like goes through it and like looks at it and goes, who the fuck is this guy? Like, well, he seemed like he was nice. Like, maybe he doesn't mean it. Like, I wish I didn't have to do that. and I explain all the media that I see in the hater videos. I wish I could be shitty. You know, I was like, I got this like real cool channel about how women are queens, right? And then the girls look at it and be like, wow, you think I'm a queen? Right? And I'd be like, oh, yeah, you're a queen, yes. Where's the next queen? Where's the next queen? Where's the next? Right? I wish I could be that guy. I wish I was the woman pandering, limiting belief destroyer manifestation coach. Oh, I'd love to have been a manifestation coach. Why? Why could I not have been born as a manifestation coach? Like, if you just be happy, you're gonna be a millionaire. Why could I have been born a manifestation coach? I wish I was actually born Graham Stephan. You know Graham Stephan? Oh, yeah. Oh, man, like I hung out with Graham. Like, he's like, here's my fish tank, guys. Like, yeah. Right? I'm like, no, Graham, we have to go into the woods and fight a black bear. He's like, that's kind of weird, man, but check out this fish tank. Isn't it cool? You know what I'm saying, right? I'm like, no, Graham, we need to wear diamond chains. We need to throw a giant fucking party until the cops come and dominate. He's like, well, you know, me and my wife, we kind of just have our fish tank, and, you know, we kind of work here, and we got my big YouTube channel, and, like, I'm so famous that I could just live off Google ads if I want, and I have investments in a stock portfolio. I'm like, why can't that be me? No, I'm not joking. I'm angry about it, okay? I'm going to have to talk with God when I'm fucking go to heaven, okay? Why do you make me Graham, okay? Like, why do I have to be like, bears, parties, sex, rapper wannabe? Like, why couldn't I just been born Graham Stephan? I love Graham. Like, I just wish I had an easier life. But you know what the problem is? For them, for Graham, that's who he is. Like, Graham looks at me, he's like, Graham's like, why'd you buy that watch, man? That's crazy, you know, right? And I'm like, because I'm a gangster. He's like, you're not a gangster, you're like a white guy. I'm like, that's a good point, Graham. He's like, do you know what you could have got back in the market for that watch? You could have got back 6 times the value. I'd be like, yeah, but look at this shit, man. Like, right? Look at me, okay? So I would have loved to have done that. Don't get me wrong. I would have loved to be like, oh, you know what would have been awesome? To be one of those like leftist politicians. You know what I mean, right? Like, you know what the real truth is? Like, I don't even know what they say, but the point is like, I don't know, some like, you know what it's really all about? Like, I don't even know. Anyway, but like that would have been great, right? Like, and everyone just goes, yeah, like that. That would have been awesome. You know, like, yeah, so instead of being controversial, I would have loved to have done that. I don't want to be this guy. It's not what I wanted, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be compelled to walk into the middle of Montana and see a grizzly bear in my face. I don't want that, but I have to. Does that make sense? Yeah. Right? I wish I could have just been one of those guys in the video games, right? Like, you know those guys like incel fapping, like they smoke weed and they do like, they're like an incel and they play like network online games, like jack off. That would have been dope. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, tell me that wouldn't be a great Friday night. Like, I'd love to do that. You just jack off, play video games, smoking weed. You know, you're like World of Warcraft. Your elf has like 10,000 power level. That'd be sick. I would have done that. I would be completely happy doing that. Why didn't I do it, though? Because I can't, okay? And when I say I like those other coaches, I mean it. When you look at Jay Shetty or Graham or Lewis Howes, how great is, like, can you tell that they're in their power? Yeah. They actually are. Shetty's in his power, dude. He actually is a powerful man. That he really is in power. He was born to do that niche that helps people at that paradigm. Okay? He really is. You know what guys like Graham do for me? They get me to think a bit more intelligently about money. Because without guys like Graham, what would I do? Want to know?
All your money on parties.
Yeah, well, I already do that. But you know what I do? I'd probably get the mega yacht and just throw one giant party with fireworks. And then it'd be over. You know, so Graham gets me thinking more intelligently, right? So everybody has a place in the universe. So this was mine. How did I figure out that this is who I am? What do you think I did?
Trial and error.
You just become very, very present and tapped in, and you see what comes out. You remember back when you're 14? That's like your peak in some ways. Remember, what did you want when you're 14? That's who you actually probably are. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want? So don't lose that. What happens when you get old?
Responsibility.
Yeah, responsibility. You sell your soul. You hate it. But with all the different monetization models, it really should not have to be like that. It's unnecessary. All that sadness and like soul-sucking shit, unless that's who you actually are, it's very unnecessary, guys. You don't need to live like that, okay? So again, you want to be doing something that's giving you energy, giving you purpose, expanding you. You're getting more present, more excellent, more greatness. You become world class. If I today woke up and I'm like, I'm going to be like an investment, like a very conservative, chilled out investment stock coach because it's more stable, what would happen? I'd fail. I'd either be dead or I'd fail. Do you guys understand? I can't do it. That's not a limiting belief. I can't sell out because that's not who I am. If I try to sell out, it'd be like Fivio Foreign's album. It'd be like, okay, like anything I do would be okay, but it's not going to be who I am. So I am who I am. What do I get from that? Energy. Brain works better. Health. Maybe that's why I'm never sick. Excellence, power in what I'm here to do. Monetization models allows you to get rich doing that. Social media, monetization models allow you to get rich doing it. So when I'm coaching a really wealthy guy, they're like, man, I had to sell out to get this money. I want to have what you have. I want to have parties. I want to be able to do cold approach. I want to go travel. I want to see the fucking bear. I want to have a girl who actually orgasms when I fuck her because she's actually attracted to me. It's not a prostitute or a girl that married me for the money. I want to have friends who like me for me, real friends. I want my children to look up to me. I want my children to respect me and to want to be me. I want to bring energy. I want other people to be enlivened when they're around me. I want to be who I am. And so some guys will say, well, who I am is the jack-off incel guy. No, that is a taker loop in 99% of cases. So you want to find out what allows you to tap in and to give energy going out. So what I'm going to get you to do, I'm going to get you to look at two different questions here, okay? One of them is this: how much money do you want? Don't give me the Taylor Swift answer. Write out what you actually want and see what it costs. I regularly write out what I want to buy, and then I budget it. I do it all the time. I got my little touch of Graham Stephan in there. Graham's my buddy, right? Like a little touch of Graham in there. I'm gonna do a budget. I'm gonna figure out where do I want to travel, where do I want to live, what do I want to buy, what do I want to give, what do I want to give as charity, what do I want to give to my children, what kind of place do I want my kids to go, what kind of experience do I want my kids to have, what kind of experience do I want to have, how much savings do I want to have. I figure all that stuff out. Just figure that stuff out. Figure out what you actually need, what kind of supplements you want to take. Look, I take a $1,500 a month ginseng called, I actually don't want to tell you because I want you guys to buy it. It's limited supply. But anyway, it's on dragonherbs.com if you want to look it up. But like, yeah, with tax about $1,500. But like, I love that stuff. Guys, I'm not just like say you say to me, say I say to you, what kind of ginseng do you want to take? You're like, I want the $1,500 one. You probably don't. You don't actually want it. I go in the woods with my friend Shane Tyler Milson to find this stuff. I bleed for ginseng. I bleed for reishi mushroom. I love reishi mushroom, okay? I literally, have you guys ever seen videos when I just run around the forest like picking herbs with like experts? You don't pick the wrong one, it'll kill you, by the way. Pick the wrong mushroom, it'll kill you. You guys ever see me out there getting like lion's mane? I resonate with that. I'm like one of those motherfuckers like talk to the lion's mane, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know why. You know, it's like me and the lion's mane having a conversation. My version of a good life is like I'm out with Shane in the forest picking reishi and lion's mane and chaga, and then we're out in some cabin and we boil it and we drink it. Why? Because I resonate with it. Why do you guys think I probably resonate with that kind of stuff? Gives you amazing energy, expands your mind massively, not like psilocybin, okay? But actual expands your imagination because medicinal, not medicinal, bro, okay? But actual medicinal. But in addition, it makes you have vitality. So I resonate with that, okay? Cavemen back in the day, you want to know how they have an immune system? They would know they would know to like, you know, maybe like use pine needles for testosterone or to use reishi mushroom for immune system. So what they do is they would know their environment. They had quieted their ego mind down, and now they're connected to God, and God would tell them what to go and pick. This is real. That's how they found a lot of that fucking weird shit they found. So then they go quiet, they know what to pick, and then they boil it. Reishi mushroom, you can't eat it because it's rock hard. Chaga's rock hard, right? Chaga's it's like rock hard, so you have to boil it. Then you boil it, and what does that do? It provides a secondary immune system of beta-glucans. So we're meant to have that. So I resonate with that very deeply. It's resonant. So do I want to take the 100-year-old Ginseng? Yes. Why? Because I believe, in my opinion, I can't prove this, but I believe it, that the 100-year-old ginseng has wisdom in it. And I believe that you consume the wisdom of the 100-year-old herb. You're consuming the immune system of that herb, and you're consuming the wisdom of that herb. I have no proof. This is complete fairy tale bullshit, like a horoscope. And I know the okay, sorry. Okay. What's the girl's favorite? What are girls' favorite statement? What do they say about horoscopes? Billionaires study astrology. You guys know that one? Because people can say anything. Like any random like fucking astrology coach, like billionaire study astrology. So anyway, I'm sure they probably do. But anyway, so look, you just say anything. But look, it's sorry, I didn't even say that shit. Don't we get all the women are gonna walk out of the seminar. But anyway, so like, wait, what? I'm calling my astrology coach. Okay, who's the actual billionaire coach? So anyway, the point being, I don't know for a fact that any of that is true, but I believe it, right? That resonates to me. Do you guys know what herbs basically are? You know, like a carrot that has one season that it's alive. A ginseng root could be alive for 100 years. So every single year it had to survive different things, right? So the idea behind it, theoretically, I'm not a doctor giving medical advice, is you consume it and you get 100 years of immunity. You'd also get spiritual powers. That's what a lot of people believe. That's why people in the East that are into spirituality, like monks and stuff, would take that stuff. I don't know if that's true or not, but you know what I can tell you? Someone who's never done Eastern herbs, they take it and they feel real present and calm for the first time. Why? Because we have all these toxins, a lot of fucked up energy. We're around a lot of weird energy fields. So I take that, that's their experience. That was my experience, actually. That was my experience. So that, and I also noticed I started getting sick less and less and eventually stopped. But it was also other things that did that too. So why do you guys think I resonate with herbs? Because I think it makes me a better guru. Okay? You know what else I resonate with? Nature. Why do you guys think I resonate so deeply with nature?
You feel connected to creation.
Yeah, that. You know what else? I think it makes me a better guru. I think the fact I spend a lot of time in the woods makes me a better guru, right? It teaches me to get present to who I actually am, so I'm able to be a better guru. So I like those things. So when I'm writing, you know, like what I want to do. Oh, why do I like ice? Why do I like diamonds?
Bling bling.
Because I'm 5. Right? What would you wear if you were 14? How would you be dressed if you're 14? What would you wear? This. Right? What would a 14-year-old wear? This. So that's me being a kid. I'm like a baby. Okay? I don't resonate with adulthood. I'm the definition of Peter Pan syndrome. Okay? I view adults as losers. Okay? Matt, I don't care how much money you have, you're an adult loser. Do you know what I look like when I'm talking like my lawyers and accountants? I'm like, my God, these poor people. Like, I'm like, oh my God. I have clients that are super rich. I'm like, what happened to you? My God. I take him out. Guys, let me tell you something. You get a mega rich dude, there's nothing on earth he can buy more fun than training with me. Like a one-on-one. Imagine you made all this cash, right? Imagine you got like 500 mil, and then like, you're just fucking bored, you kind of hate your life, but you accumulate a lot of money, and I take you out. Can you imagine what it's like for those guys? Can you imagine? Like full, like Coachella, rager party, make out with 20 girls, throw the after party, dancing, like going crazy, like making out with 2 girls at the same time. Like these guys that come on trains with me, they're like they're so stiff, they have so many like neurotic holding patterns, and I'm like, let's go, right? They're like, I'm like, come on, tickle. I'm like, come on, man, come on, tickle. Like they're like, like that. I'm like, let's fucking go, right? And then we're like dancing with girls and stuff. They're like some of these old guys, they haven't made out with like a hot girl in years, right? Like their last wife was like some old fucking leather handbag of a woman, right? And they're like, and you see them like they haven't got an erection in like 20 years, right? And they're like, oh, my penis, oh my God, right? And they lead in, they're like making out with girls, and you just see them like that, and we're like, yeah. Right? And like, you know, I'm like always telling them to shut the fuck up. I'm like, shut the fuck up, bitch shit. That's bitch shit. They're like, like that, like they're running a whole company, and like I talk to them like this. And the thing is, I don't care if they fucking leave the program at all. If they leave the program, good riddance. I don't fucking care. I'm partying. I don't give a shit. So I'm the only person who has no loss aversion who coaches them, right? I remember one of the richest guys I ever coached. This guy's loaded. He wouldn't listen to anybody. And he's like, well, you know, I need to have this thing be perfect. And I went, dude, just shut the fuck up. You're a bitch. Just shut the fuck up with this perfection shit. You know what he said? This is super famous, super fucking famous rich guy. He paused, he went, ha ha ha, I love this guy. Hire him now. Why do you guys think that is?
No one ever tells him that.
Because I don't care. I meant it. I don't care. I'm the best coach. You fuck with me, you'll never find another me, bitch. I don't fucking care. I do not care. I don't care about money. You have no leverage on me. I don't care if you kill me. I don't care if I don't get invited to your party. I'll make a better party. I don't care what you have. I'll go get it myself. I'll give it to myself. So if you want to do something together, I'm happy to do it, but I don't care, okay? So what I'm trying to show you guys is like, when I say that I resonate with like Eastern herbs or going in nature, that's because that's my calling, okay? That's my calling. Now I try to bring Marcel into nature. It's like pulling teeth because Marcel is living. He'll do a little bit of it. I mean, he lives in a mega mansion overlooking the ocean. But the point, he'll go to like Bahamas. He'll go to what's that one with like those little cabins that's really expensive? No, in the Caribbean with like the Maldives. He goes to Maldives. He likes nature somewhat, but his biggest thing, Marcel, is he's actually a mama's boy. He loves his fucking parents, he loves his family, and he'll do the best parties in all of LA, and he'll invite over his family. He's Jewish, and he'll invite over like these like little old Jewish ladies and shit. Like there'll be like a celebrity besides some like Amish-looking little old Jewish like or what is like the most extreme version of like Judaism? What are those ones like a Hasidic Jewish person beside like Jake Paul, you know, and Hose. So it's like a funny combo. But he just likes to do it. He'll pay for everybody. Marcel's very generous. He'll always have a private chef at his house. He does Shabbat every week on Friday, and he'll invite over like 50 people and just pay for everybody. He likes it, right? So he's more, what he resonates with more is like a good time and making everybody family and just balling out and also helping rich people. Like I'll get him to come help poor people and he'll do it because he does care, but he gets more energized to help somebody who's high influence. And when he helps that high influence person, then they can also go on to do influential things. That's what he was born to do. So if I take him in nature, he'll indulge me, but you know what he likes? He likes cars. You guys ever seen his car fleet? He's got like 9 supercars, right? I got kids in nature, he's got cars. So what happens is like, he likes to just get like a fleet of cars, and he'll go drive in Ferrari, and he'll be like at like these like racetracks and stuff with other like billionaires and millionaires. He gets energy from that and helping them. That's what he's born to do. So he'll be like, hey, come with me and drive cars. And I'm like, I'm cool with it, but I don't resonate with cars. You know how I feel when I get in those really expensive cars? I feel nauseous. Have you guys ever been in those Lambos? Yeah. You like it or no? Yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm like, Marcel. He's like, yeah, this is awesome. I'm like, we're going to die. You know, a lot of internet marketing gurus have died in cars, by the way. Even the owner of COD. You see that? Yeah, the fucking owner of Call of Duty got killed. All these rich guys, they finally get rich, they get a car, and they die in it. So, I mean, that could be fun on the way of ways to die, but that'd be more like a fun way for Marcel to die. You know what I'm saying? I want to die public speaking, not in a Lambo. Remember that story I told you how I want to die? I don't want to die getting laid, or I want to die public speaking. I don't want to die in the Lambo. If I die in the Lambo, I guess it's okay. You know what I'm saying? But public, like, how cool would it be if I died right now? Like the last speech, right? Wouldn't that be sick? You know what I'm saying? You gotta admit that'd be pretty sick. Like, that'd be a great story. You know what I'm saying? That'd be sick, right? I'm like, listen, fuck all this shit. No, you're all bitches. Fuck this shit. Tell Marcel to go to nature. I just died. That'd be a great story. Now, when you hear me say that, does that sound morbid? Guess what? We're all dying. How is that? Okay, so that's morbid, but dying like as your family cries for 2 years in a bed, that's better? Yo, I got put in a wheelchair, was in a hospital for a couple weeks. It sucked. Or no, about a week. It fucking sucked. I had a horrible injury. I was in a wheelchair for a while. And I said to the doctor, because I was in there for like a week, I was like, dude, I'm like, this place is pretty rough, man. I'm like, knowing what you know about how rough it is to just stay here, are you afraid to die in here? He goes, well, I died in here. And I go, well, how are you gonna die then? And because he hadn't thought about it, right? He just knew he didn't want it. So pause and think about that. The guy who works at the fucking place, great smart guy who helped me with my surgery, he said, I ain't dying in here. Fuck that shit. I'm not dying here. So we all think that's better. So you know what I said to him? I said, well, where do you want to die then? He hadn't figured this out. He wasn't congruent. He said, you know what I'm gonna do? He meant this too. We were in Idaho where there's bears everywhere. He goes, I'm gonna just paint myself in honey. I actually said that earlier, that's where I got it from. He goes, I'm gonna paint myself in honey and I'm gonna go for a walk in the forest. I go, bro, that's horrible. Like, some of those grizzly bears, because he's saying he'll get a grizzly bear, antagonize a grizzly bear to eat him. I go, bro, some of those grizzly bears bury you alive and torture you before they eat you. That's not a good way to die. And he was like, oh shit, yeah, you're right. And I said, so how do you want to do it? And I actually took this example, or I said it, I got it from him too. He said, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to Big Sur. Do you guys know what Big Sur is? Yeah. That's like a beautiful cliff. Write that shit down if you don't know what it is. It's like beautiful cliffs out near like 5 hours north of LA, a little bit south of San Fran on the PCH, Big Sur. It's really sick. And drive the whole coast, by the way. Right down the whole coast. You gotta drive the whole coast. All the way through Oregon, Washington, you gotta drive it. Trust me on this. If you took one from the seminar, one thing, do that. But anyway, he goes, I'm gonna go in Big Sur. He goes, I'm gonna wait for the sunset. And when the sun sets, I'm just gonna lean forward and die like that. Now, when you hear that, right? I know you're thinking, you're like, man, I don't wanna do that. That's scary. No, you know what's scary? What I saw when I broke my fucking leg. That was scary. Stuck in the hospital, it sucks, dude. You can't even sleep. These fucking these little things are going beep, beep, beep. There's lights everywhere. Everyone's fucking stressed. The energy feels all fucked up. I don't wanna die like that. So when I say some morbid stuff, you gotta realize you are gonna die. Imagine you die when you bust a nut, that's way better. Imagine you died on stage, that would be way better. Okay? I hope I die too when I do some crazy thing. You guys ever see me when I start doing some crazy imitation? I'm like, ah, but I start screaming, and then I want to have an aneurysm or something, just like that, it just pops. And then I'll tell my editor to post it. Terrence, you know what to do, okay? Yeah, he's gonna post it. That'd be awesome, right? Or maybe doing game, something fun, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'll get you to the exercise, but here's the main 2 points, okay? Find what gives you energy, okay? What gives you energy? Figure that out, what you want to do, and then but it has to be something we can monetize, okay? It can't be NBA player, okay? Although, I saw the Savannah Bananas playing here, so maybe even if you were not a real baseball player, maybe you could find a way to monetize it somehow. You could be like a dancing baseball player. Maybe, who knows what you could come up with. But overall, think about something that we could maybe monetize. Write that down, and then also I want you to think about how much money you want, okay? So can you guys get a sense that I know what I want?
Yes.
That's real wealth. That's real wealth. Real wealth is not running a business and being like, I gotta keep it going. We gotta increase the revenue, man. We gotta increase revenue. That's boring. That's not fun, okay? And you gotta understand, if I lived to be 10,000, I would do that. Why do I have this ideology towards business instead of being a billionaire?
Life is short.
Because life's short. It's more logical. All the people that you see doing the 9-to-5 thing, thinking that they're safe, they think they're avoiding death, but they're actually avoiding life. Life is not guaranteed. Death is. You're already dead. So part of me doing the seminar, and you see how my energy is moving, what am I trying to show you covertly? What is the subtext that I'm showing you here when I'm doing the speech? Movement of energy, okay? So what I'm trying to show you is the most locked in, happiest, blissful, fun, free-spirited, enjoying life guy you've ever seen. That's what I'm trying to show you, okay? And then I'm teaching you the way to get there. So I'm like, have you guys ever seen speeches where I go more low energy, maybe more chill, or maybe some are funny, some are serious, some are even a bit dark, right? I use energy to make different points. So the way I'm using my energy here is I'm trying to show you that free-spirited side of the adventure of life. Life can be a grand adventure when done strategically. Here's where it also gets interesting, right? Do you guys know the midwit meme? Okay, the midwit meme is someone at a low IQ, like a dimwit, is, okay, here'd be a simple example. The dumb guy is like, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, the way, the truth, and the light, right? Why do they believe that? Because their pastor told them to say it, right? They don't understand it. They don't know what any of it means. They just know, they're like, why do you believe in Jesus? Because I want to go to heaven. I won't go to hell. I'm going to heaven. I won't go to hell. Heaven. It's yeah, but what if that's just a book that got made up? Nah, you got to have faith. You see that, right? That's a low level. Then a higher level would be well, then what? Someone who's a Buddhist is going to go to hell. Someone who believed in Greek myth is going to go to hell. They could not have made this up. There's different religions everywhere. How do you even know that's true? How can you just demand faith to believe in something to say that's true? At the highest level, the 4 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, are the best books you ever read in your life, and you read them 100 times, and they define your life. But it's not because I want to go to heaven, right? I don't want to go to hell. Heaven, right? It's because you have a very high level of reading comprehension, and when it talks about things like walking on water, when it talks about things like transmuting the water into wine, when it talks about the second birth after crucifixion, the birth of the soul, when it talks about the importance of doing good for other people while nobody sees it. Like, these are the single most profound, like many of them, the importance of giving. These are the lessons that will literally give you a second birth. These are going to awaken your soul. It'll be the most important book you read in your fucking life, but you'll actually get a soul out of it. Not because you went, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, and the way, the truth, and life. I don't want to go to hell, y'all. I ain't going to hell. So Jesus, just don't let me go to hell, right? As a way to like avoid the, people use religion as a way to not look at the ambiguity of life, not to have to stress over death. They just look at it very simply, okay? So that's like the dumb guy. The higher level guy, the guy in the middle goes, this is some bullshit. Higher level than that goes, this is the most important book I ever read because I can see the message it's communicating and it's doing the spiritual surgery. That's kind of how I view entrepreneurship, right? Dumb is like broke. Broke to me is anywhere less than multimillionaire. That's broke, okay? Functionally poor, maybe. Then midwit is like, I am an entrepreneur. My stock portfolio went up. My net worth went up. We have a bigger pie chart. Look at my pie chart. Look at me. I went to the Epstein Island and fucked a goat. I'm winning, okay? That's like the mid-level. The highest level, full idiot retard, okay? That's the highest level. Full idiot retard, okay? And I am that retard, okay? I am the #1 greatest retard, okay? Do you know what I think about all day? How can I be more of a retard? You know why he's laughing? Because he knows me, right? You're like, now I never understood this guy before this fucking talk. Like, you probably saw me like, what's with this guy, right? Like, being a retard is an art form. Yep. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you know, Robert Downey Jr. says never go full retard. My art form is always go full retard, okay? Always, okay? Now, let me explain why that's the actual genius, okay? The full retard, okay, repeat this after me. Full idiot, retard, okay? But not full idiot retard like you're broke, okay? Full idiot retard as in unlimited girls, banking cash, doing whatever you want, and dominating while being a retard. In other words, the guys who just figure out how to make money but can't be a retard, they are basic. Because look what they did. In effect, what they did was they sacrificed their soul, their individuality, their fun, and their life to optimize for one metric. You know, these guys are like, I work 100 hours a week. You shouldn't brag about that shit, dude. You brag that you work 100 hours a week? I work 100 hours a week. I can work 100 hours a week. I don't run out of energy. Look, the whole sleep 4 hours a night, work 7 days a week, I don't know, say you slept 4 hours a night, it's 20 hours a day, like 120-hour work week. I beat that boss when I was like 23. You know? You should be able to work a 100-hour work week by the time you're 23, 24, maybe 26. First 2 million, you should beat that by 25, 26, like 2 million, 3 million in the bank. You should have beaten that shit when you're younger. That's so easy, dude. A $2 million fucking offer, like build a little following, make an offer, do a little launch, sell it. You couldn't even do that? That's just retarded. That's not the good retard. That's the bad retard. Like, I'm not trying to shame you or make you feel bad. I'm trying to wake you up. I'm trying to bust your ass a bit so you wake up and actually go do it. I'll get you to do it. But, okay, I can't guarantee it, but, you know, I can't guarantee that you're the bad version of a retard. But what I'm saying is, like, anyone can learn to do that shit in my view. But what I'm saying is, you should have, like, I'm, like, okay, shit, like, I'm tired. What do you mean you're tired? What does that even mean? Like, what do you mean you're tired? That's not even a thing. Like, yes, at the end of the day, your circadian rhythm kicks in and you go to bed for 8 hours. You don't actually get tired. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just because other people told you you're tired, you think you're tired. You're never in a bad mood. Do you guys actually understand that you never are actually in a bad mood? You're faking. This is real. You never are mad. You're never sad. You're never in a bad mood. You don't have approach anxiety. You're not nervous about anything. You don't have a limiting belief. There's no limiting beliefs. You can literally do anything. Okay? When you're in a bad mood, that's a self-hypnosis. Okay, look. Odds of being born. Like, try to follow this, okay? Galaxy existing. gazillion empty rocks, planets that are, to our knowledge, devoid of life. Like, planet grows life. Dinosaur era for millions of years, where mammals live as like mice. Ice age from the fucking giant rock. Planet covered in a nuclear wasteland for a gazillion years, practically. Long time. Mice turns into a fucking, into many different mammals, because basically like these little critters way under the ground, under the ice age explosion, could live. Turns into like a monkey, a fucking whatever, a horse, like all this shit, right? Monkey runs around. Eventually, monkey lives in trees. Bad weather, trees go away. Monkey has to walk on 2 legs. Most of the monkeys get killed and preyed on. These are all your ancestors. Monkey eventually learns how to walk on 2 legs. First version of Homo habilis or Homo erectus, these other fucking monkeys that were living, right? They run around. They have to kill everything. There's like 7, 8 different versions of Homo sapiens. There's like Neanderthals, Homo sapiens, Homo erectus, Homo habilis. There's little midget fucking humans living on an island. It's all real, by the way. Look this shit up. It's crazy. Tall humans like live up in the mountains and they have like better oxygen, but they're not as like creepy ass smart as a Homo sapien. Neanderthals like super stud, like kind of like winter humans that are like brain structured a bit different, but they're more athletic. Like all these different humans running around. You know about all this?
Yeah.
Look this shit up. It's crazy. Then like we're all living in like South Africa. Then we venture up, like following different shit up north, and eventually they think probably from a volcano. There's only like 2,000 humans left. You guys know about this shit? Yeah, like our genes are like look all inbred. We're all fucking inbred motherfuckers. Like pretty much all of us are like inbred with each other. It's kind of fucked up. Okay, that's right. When you're hooking up with that bad bitch, she's actually like your sister, dude. It's creepy as fuck because we're all inbred because of the volcano. Okay, that's what they think. But there's questions to that theory, different theories, right? And basically, like, there's like an ice age. Your ancestors are running around fucking like hunting. Do you guys know what the short-faced bear is? That's like a 12-foot bear. There's the giant sloth, dire wolves. I mean, this is like an episode of Game of Thrones. The dire wolf. There's fucking, saber-toothed tigers were eating. They were eating fucking human babies all the time and shit. Like tons of our babies got eaten. And then we'd go like fight these giant sloths that have like, they're like 20, 30 feet tall or some shit. There's like armor on them and all this stuff. And then eventually like modern society gets built. All this crazy shit happens. And then eventually you wind up getting to the point now where you live in a functioning society. You're not about to get eaten by a dire wolf or a fucking saber-toothed tiger. You have access to the internet. You're in the good part of AI before it kills all of us. Like all this shit. You're never in a bad mood. You're never, ever, 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 ever in a bad mood. It's complete bullshit. Forged in the image of the creator of the universe, forged in the image of God, you're not in a bad mood. It's just a self-hypnosis. You have no limitation as far as being on your purpose. You can do whatever you put your mind to as long as it's what you're here to do. Like, it's amazing. Like, life is fucking amazing. You're not tired, okay? Like, oh, I'm tired. Someone told you you're fucking tired. Does that make sense? Yeah. None of this is even real. You've just been hypnotized. Do you guys see how by me even just saying simple, dumb, idiotic shit like I'm saying here, you suddenly feel unhypnotized a bit? You notice that? If you're just around the right environment, you don't get into bad mood. Okay, maybe a little here or there as a way to check yourself, just to get the adrenaline moving a bit. You know what I'm saying? But it's very minimal. And when you do it, it's more like performative. Sometimes I'll pretend I'm in a bad mood, like, fuck that shit, fuck it, just to fuck with everybody to be performative. But under it, I'm happy. So it's okay. Sometimes you just gotta stir the pot, right? So what I'm showing you guys is literally life is just absolutely fucking unlimited. You're here for a purpose. You can do what it is that you want to do, and you can live a fun life. But look what I'm showing you here too. Low level, dimwit, is broke. Higher level is rich, but sell your soul and you're bored and you have to be disciplined and you hate it and you have to fight against yourself. Highest level is complete idiot, okay? Like more of an idiot than the broke guy, okay? Why is that the highest level? Bigger idiot than the broke guy.
You're in your zone of genius.
You're in your zone of genius. What else? What's that? Okay. If I'm successful, you know what that comes down to? Can I run a massive fucking party? Can I dance? Can I laugh? Can I have fun? Can I do what I want to do? Can I say what I want to say? That's wealth. A lot of the stuff that you guys see as commendable, like I'm a straight edge and all that kind of stuff, is a cope. For you to be able to do that, you have to develop calcification of the mind, and you have to develop neurotic holding patterns. Your body's loaded with neurotic holding patterns. I studied attraction for 25 years. Do you guys think the girls want to fuck guys like Bill Gates? No. Why do you think he goes to Epstein Island? Fucks a goat. Okay? Why do, I'm joking, by the way. So now, why is it?
Are you?
Yeah, so why is it? Just don't want to get banned. But anyway, so, okay. So why is it that, I'm just kidding. So why is it, okay, does any girl be like, yeah, like, man, Bill Gates is so self-disciplined to build Microsoft, like finger blasting herself? Gets out the vibrator, she's like imagining Bill Gates is piping her. Do you guys see what I'm saying here?
The paperclip jumps out.
Yeah, like, yeah. Okay, yeah, like paperclip jumps out of her pussy, right? So why is it that women, like that rich guy who you think that you want to be, women don't like that version of you because you sold your soul. Women would rather be like a DJ, a rapper, like some guy who's like having fun. He's loose in his body. He says what he wants to say. He's having fun when he wants to have it. Like a rock star, like a guy like, you think a guy like Axl Rose when he was in his prime in Guns N' Roses had trouble meeting women?
No.
What was he do? What was Axl Rose doing when he was in front of a group of women and people?
Associating, singing.
Yeah, welcome to the jungle, right? Like, take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Please take me home. Yeah, and then it was like, right? Guys like Tommy Lee would have women in an obstacle course. He put him in an obstacle course. He'd do this, go in an obstacle course. He fucked Pam Anderson. Why did that all happen? Why? Massive retard. Right, he just like got his thing, yeah, like that, right? Retard, okay? Full idiot. That makes sense? Full idiot. So do you want to be like Tommy Lee, making fucking porn videos of Pam on a boat? Or do you want to be like Bill Gates fucking a goat on an island? That's the only two choices, okay? Which one do you want to be, right? So what I'm saying is real wealth, like who would you rather be? Bill Gates, like, all right, so now we're going to like make a monopoly and fuck over Netscape and like go to court and then we're gonna like do the fuck a goat and like that, like all shit. Like, do you want to be that? Or do you want to be like Tommy Lee, just fucking like jamming out while thousands of people cheer for you, getting laid, doing a fucking party? The downside is when they bring drugs in the mix, but imagine doing all that sober. That's fun. That's like actual fucking fun. And people actually like you. Like, do people actually like some of these other uptight guys? No. I mean, in some cases, whatever, but you know my point, right? And the women don't want to hook up with them. So to me, the real life is where you find a way to get paid, but doing what you like to do. Why is it women like a rock star? Because they're finding that inner 5-year-old. They're finding that childlike joy. They're moving emotions. They're moving energy. They're being what they're meant to be. Look, the truth is that if somebody actually was doing what they're destined to do in that more like billionaire job and they fucking love it, women would like that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be the uptight business guy, but you just fucking love it and you're in the flow and you're that channel for flow, and women would like you because you have that. Okay, so for me, I integrated my love for women and meeting women, sex, and attraction into business because I knew if I do a business that's boring, I'm not gonna get laid. So I knew that, right? So I tried to find businesses that gave me flow and just had fun and just go full retard, okay? So that's why I'm always gonna like take the time to go in nature. I'm gonna eat where I wanna eat. I'm gonna take all my friends out to eat. I'm gonna do parties. I'm gonna get with girls. I'm gonna be, public speaking, teaching people stuff, even teaching hard cases, just because I'm a rock star. You know what I'm saying? You know they tell you like, just teach rich guys? Why, bro? Why, my man? Aren't you a rock star? Aren't you a G? Why can't you teach that guy having a hard time? Your frame should be so strong that that guy who might cause trouble, who's broke, gets pulled up to your frame in 2 seconds. Do you guys see how I do that? Yeah. Even the hardest case guy, nah, you ain't pulling me down to your frame, bro. I'm pulling you up to my frame. I'm pulling you up to my frame. Everyone around me is winning. Everybody around me is crushing it, getting results, because I'm not gonna let them fail. Imagine just being around me all the time. You know what that's like? We have a lot of fun. We have maximum fun. We're gonna do cool shit. We're gonna enjoy life. We're gonna get paid. We're gonna figure it out, right? And if we're gonna calm down for a minute, it's to read a marketing book, make a strategy, execute it, and then keep the party going. That's how I think about it. That's real wealth. You know what that is? An acknowledgement we're all gonna die. Our physical bodies are all gonna die. Right? Sitting there doing some shit you hate is dumb. Because what it means is you're just gonna live your life doing this dumb shit. Maybe you get paid off it, and then you die. That's midwit shit. Billionaire, but you hate your business? Midwit. That's midwit. Oh, well, I have to have the yacht because I've got a small penis. No, I've also got a small penis. I need to have a yacht, okay? Maybe I'm joking, maybe I'm not, who knows, right? So, midwit, okay? I said full retard, right? Midwit, okay? So, the highest level guys, for example, when I ran my business, I dominated the industry for decades, I would go help my competitors. You know why I say that? Just being the top, do you guys remember how much I dominated my industry over the years? Who here remembers that? How dominant was I in my industry when I used to be? Unstoppable. Would you guys agree? Yeah. Do you guys ever just look at what we're doing and be like, how's he doing this shit? Multiple instructors, endless infield, new videos all the time, seminars all over the world, just this endless fucking shit. You guys remember seeing that shit? Yeah. Okay, can you guys see why everybody around me became a good instructor? Of course. Yeah, so everybody's winning, we're crushing it. Any industry we go in, we're gonna dominate. Point blank. We're always gonna be the best, we're always gonna dominate because we have the most energy, the most joy, the most purpose, the most intelligence, the most lateral thinking, the most creativity, we're gonna smash, okay? But midwit is like, okay, I got money, okay, cool, right? You got some money, okay, cool. But you did that at the expense of your soul. In the same way, getting rich, like dominating an industry is too easy. Do you see what I'm saying? Dominating an industry is easy mode. Being the top of your industry is too easy. So what I would do was I'd give away all my best stuff on YouTube. Do you guys remember how much great stuff I gave away on YouTube? I'd give it away. I'd give away all the sauce on YouTube. I'd show infield. I'd give away all the sauce, how I do infield, or how we do coaching. We gave it away. Then, to put it on super hard mode, I'd call all my competitors and I'd volunteer for free to be on their board of advisors. And I'd show them how we're doing everything we're doing. Try to help them. Because I thought some of the shit they teach sucks and I feel bad for their clients. So I want them to have better content, right? Why would I go teach all my competitors all my best stuff?
You know they can't do it like you.
It's not even that. I wish they would.
You get energized from giving to them.
I get energized from giving to them. It's also the ultimate form of abundance. Yep. It's the ultimate form of abundance, right? You know what that does for you energetically when you go help a competitor or an enemy? There'd be guys that would shit talk the fuck out of me. They'd have problems. I'd call them and help them. I'd even send them money. You know one of my favorite things to do? You ever have like a waiter be mean to you or like a cashier be mean to you? You ever have that happen? Yeah. Or maybe someone cuts you off in traffic? You know what badass move you could do? Option A, what everyone does. Reflect that energy back at them. You know what else you could do? Pull out $1,000 and just give it to them. You having a bad day, bro? You okay? Oh, that really mind fucks them. Yeah, mind fucks the shit out of them. You guys should hear it when I would call my competitors. They're like, Owen, what? I've been shit talking you. I'm like, it's okay. Here, let's help you. Oh, are you serious? Yes, I'm serious. Let's help you. A real alpha male doesn't just dominate an industry. A real alpha male dominates an industry and helps their competitors. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like you're like Mike Tyson. You've been smashing fools, like one punch knocking them out. It's like, here, let me teach you my training so we can have a real fight. Like, come on, let's have a real fight. Like, come on, this is too easy at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's just too easy. So I want a real competitor, right? And you get abundance from it. So the paradox is that then you get better anyway, right? Yeah. So in the same way, why become a millionaire just doing some boring shit? No, become a millionaire and party and meet girls and give charity and have fun. Do all of it, right? I'd take it all. Like a lot of you guys in this room, I know for a fact, but I don't mean to badger you, are like, I'd give it all up for just like 50 grand a month. Even if it was a hard job, I just want the 50 grand. It's just too hard. It's just hard because you're a bitch. That's bitch shit, okay? That's bitch shit, okay? Why? Because it's satanic. Forge in the image of the creator of the universe. You have unlimited potential. But not to sell out, but to be who it is that you're meant to be. Unlimited energy, unlimited creativity, unlimited skill, world class, best in the world. You all have that ability. But the thing is, you got to get aligned with it. Then you learn the monetization models, okay? Does this make more sense now?
Yes.
Okay? So I'm always like, I want to have max fun and make cash, okay? I want to do it all. That's living. That's having a fun life. And you know what will happen? Guys, I'll make videos of this stuff and I'll be dead. I'll be like you guys, many of you guys will live to see my death. Do you guys realize that? A lot of you guys are younger than me. You'll be like, oh, that Owen guy from the free tour, oh, he's dead. And then you'll go, he was right, he did die. And then that's when the genius of what I'm saying will kick in, right? Because what I'm saying here won't seem as genius as it is until I die. But in the context of death, how genius is what I'm saying? Knowing that you're going to die, why is this on point? What would it have mattered if you sold yourself out? You're dead. And if you believe in the soul, what did it wind up doing to your soul anyway while you're alive? It shrank it. What if you just go to hell? What if you go somewhere dark? What if you didn't grow your soul? So you have to be doing something that's growing your soul, and even if you're an atheist, then even more important to do what's fun. But what I'm saying is, paradoxically, again, midwit meme, idiot, less not multimillionaire yet. Midwit, multimillionaire or billionaire, but Bill Gates. Highest level, the exact amount of money that you need, even if it's really high, an idiot. But idiot is genius. Why does idiot equal genius? Super genius is an idiot.
Yeah.
Why is a super genius an idiot?
Uninhibited.
Uninhibited.
They're thinking the right amount.
Thinking the right amount. Why else? Because I'm an idiot. Why is a super genius an idiot?
Pure intuition.
They're in flow. They're not confined. They're having fun. They're zenned out as fuck.
Soul's expanding.
They're feeling joy. Their soul's expanding. We're not meant to be. Do you think you're meant to be this guy in a suit like from the 80s? Like, yes, Susie. Like, that's not who you are. That's a LARP. You're LARPing. You're cosplaying. That's not even who you are. Not who you actually are. So idiot is a joking term for authentic. But that'll look to the average person like an idiot. Many of my entrepreneur friends, they come to me and they go, you know, you like to like meet girls and you like to do parties. Like, I'm more of like a business-oriented guy. Like, I'm more focused on business. I'm like, but I make way more money than you. Or like, you know this other one I hear? These guys that like, when they're pickup, they're technique-based. Usually like, guys that just watch my older stuff from like 2005 from like Foundations. And like, they're like, I'm more like a technical game guy. Because I'm more about like, Owen talks about like, the result doesn't matter, and you know, it's always 1,000 out of 10 no matter what, and you should enjoy the process. But I'm more about getting results and about technique. I'm like, but I get laid more than you. I date harder women than you, I get laid more than you. Like, what do you mean you're about the result? You're not about the result. You're literally not. I had this one buddy who was like super into technique, and to try to help him, because I've got very well honed energetic control, so he would be doing this technique, he'd like bring a girl over, and to try to, I know it sounds bad, but to try to help him, I'd always jack him for his girl. And I would do it with a look. I just like look at the girl and she would jump on me. And he'd start crying and shit. This guy's a crybaby. If you know who the technique guys are in my old company, you can guess who it is. I won't tell you. But anyway, so he'd always be like this. I got fucking so many times happen. I got videos of shit I was tempted to almost put out because he's such a dickhead. But anyway, the point is I'll never do it. But literally, he's like, I'm the technique guy. I'm like, I look at your girls and she jumps off you onto me, bro. Like, and he'd be like, you're amogging me. You're amogging me. I'm like, brother, I'm not amogging you. I'm showing you that you're dead to life. I'm trying to show you directly in your face why you need to not be like this. Why this, like, paradoxically, why does the technique fuck up his energetic flow and turn him into like a weird cardboard box?
Because he's taking.
It's taking. He's like, here's the paradigm. How do I stay dead to life and then press a button to be a taker? I know. I'll research Owen's old content from when he's 23, repackage it like it's mine, and then say I'm the technique guy. And then sue him. like this is literally the kind of shit that happens, okay? I'm just kidding, but I'm just a joke. But anyway, the point I'm making, this is literally real life, okay? Like mid-level results, and yet they go, I'm the technique guy who cares about results, but I have better results. Oh, guys will come to me, they're like, you know, I don't know about I don't know about learning social skills and going out and meeting women. I'm more focused on business. I'm like, guys, the way that you get paid is you go out to clubs, you talk to girls. What is the single hardest creature on earth to hold the attention of? A 22-year-old baddie who's overstimulated at the club. Okay? So it provides real-time feedback of can you hold attention, and then you learn that, and then you can be the front end of a business. You can be the ambassador for a brand, and because you learned it out there meeting girls. So guys will come to me, they're like, I'm not really about meeting girls, I'm more about business. And I'm like, dude, stop and think about this. I make way more money than you. Yeah, but that's because you coach that. I go, no, because listen, if I want to teach something else, would I be a good ambassador for some other niche?
Oh.
Could I teach something else?
Definitely.
Could I sell something else?
Yeah.
Do I just have to sell weird esoteric trainings that nobody understands and makes the world mad?
No.
Why do I sell these trainings? Because it's my purpose. But could I use the same social skills, swagger, and sales skills to do something else? Do you guys think I might have taught other entrepreneurs that sell not courses to be the ambassador for their brand? What do you think?
100%.
Of course I have. I taught a ton of them. So they say, oh, I don't want to learn to meet girls. Do you have like a business training? You know what they're actually saying? Translation, I'm in a state of control because my soul is asleep and I don't want to enter into a state of release, so therefore I want to learn a business training. When in reality, the single best coaching I've ever done on business is when I take you out and teach you social skills. And I can prove that. Before we even do our exercise, I'll fucking prove that shit to you, bro. I'll make that real. You guys want to challenge me to make that shit real? I'll make that shit real as fuck to you. I'll make it the realest shit you ever fucking learn, okay? Let me show it to you before we do it. In every single generation, but to capture that point before we move to the next one. Oh, I'm not about having fun. I'm about business. But you make less cash. Do you see that? But you make less cash. I'm not about all that like natural game. I'm about technique because I want results. But you don't get the same results that I get. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's weird, bro. It's fucking weird. So when I say be a full retard, to finish that point, then I'll go on the next one. What I'm trying to say is, if you have a high IQ, okay, if you're hyper smart, then A, making money is easy to you. Okay? If you're hyper smart, making money is easy. Okay? If you're hyper smart, you've learned how to manage your energy, and so energy is easy for you because you're hyper smart. Using that hyper intelligence, you first of all realize how to get rich, but second of all, you realize that most of the way people are getting rich sucks. And then here's the other thing that you realize, okay? Wealth is multifaceted. Cash is one form of wealth. Who here is even sure that the dollar and that the modern economic system is going to hold up in our lifetime?
It's not good.
I mean, it might. I don't know. Will crypto save us? Will Trump save us? I mean, maybe. But it's tough, right? It's a lot for one person, So, okay, guys. But do you guys see what I'm saying here? Do you even trust, like what will happen to these guys that gave up their whole life for $1 when the whole shit collapses? So, it's going to suck, dude. But maybe it'll stay together. Maybe AI won't kill us, and maybe everything's gonna be great. And that actually can happen. There's a chance that maybe the aliens are about to come. That's real, by the way. I mean, they're showing us alien videos. Who's ever seen the video where the alien went behind me? You ever seen it?
What?
I got a video of the alien behind me. It's fucking crazy. You ever seen that one?
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. You guys remember that one? Yeah, I'm there with Julian. You see this like fucking weird ass, like it looked just like the ones in like the Fox News videos. Like this fucking, I can show you this shit. Like it goes like, and like people in the comments, I never watched the video properly. And people in the comments are like, there's an alien. I'm like, yeah, like it's like some dumb shit or whatever. Like I didn't know what it was. And then finally one day I'm like, why do all these people keep saying it's an alien? So I go and I look it up and I'm like, oh, I think that's like a drone. But I'm like, well, why did that many people say it's like I think I even wrote like that's a drone in the comments or something, and people are like, no, that's an alien or UFO, UAP they call it. And then I go back, I look at it again. It's weird as hell. It's like that's super fucking weird, right? It's in San Diego, so I thought maybe it's a military craft, and maybe it is. I don't know, maybe some weird military thing. But they're showing UAPs now. Of course, maybe it's a lie. We don't know. Right? Funny timing. They show us now when we're getting pissed off about other things as a distraction. I don't really know, guys. But what I'm saying is maybe we're on the verge of alien encounter. That'd be pretty sick. That's why I want to stay alive a bit longer. I want to stay alive longer because I want to play Horizon Zero Dawn Part 3. I want to see the aliens. I want to see what AI is going to do, including the AI apocalypse. I for sure want to be here for that. But anyway, that would be funny, dude. Like the actual Terminator. We're like, oh shit, Terminator, no, and like get killed. Okay, so oh my God, you like live in like a bunker. But anyway, so look, if that scares you, you're a pussy, right? Because you're gonna die. Look, I'm not saying we should let that happen. We should block it if we can, but you shouldn't live in fear. Make sense?
Yeah.
Don't live in fear. You're gonna die anyway. You're gonna die anyway. Okay? So what I'm showing you here is that if you're hyper intelligent, rationality would tell you that money is not the only metric. So now we have to redefine what are the metrics. You know what? You know a great quote that my buddy Luke said to me once? He said, you know what he said? He says, you know what? There's way more important things in life than sex. And he's like, obviously, you know, sex is just one thing of life. And, you know, time with your family, your children, your spirituality. He's like, that's way more important than sex. And I was like, yeah, it's very heartwarming. He said, but you know what? Man, like that bubble butt, like that really is better than everything. And he was right in both cases. Does that make sense? They're both correct. What is that when he's like, I'd give it all up for that one bubble butt. So, okay, to put his dick in it, right? So what does he mean by it? What does that mean, what he's saying?
It's like you could have an asymmetric system of values where when you like you said, optimize for one thing, you value this one thing, it's actually pulling you in these other things that bring you meaning and fulfillment.
I think that's great. And you know another way to put it? Running around like an egomaniac who's empty inside trying to get laid is bad. We all know that, right? That's unfulfilling. It's empty. But at a certain point, you know what you realize? And my friend Luke, he said the same thing, RC Luke. He's like, you know what's kind of fun sometimes? He's like, you know what idiots do? They go to a baseball game, they drink a bunch of beer, and they eat hot dogs. And he goes, but you want to know what's one of the most fun things?
Oh my God.
To go to baseball, drink a beer, and eat a hot dog. You know what I'm saying, right? Like, having sex is empty, but you want to know one of the most fun things? Having sex with a bad bitch. You see what I'm saying, right? Like, what is life if it's not a series of small moments? You follow what I'm saying? So yes, we want to have that nature trip to Montana, up on the trail, crying at the rainbow and crying at the birth of our child, and reading the Bible, like all that stuff is like really deep. But sometimes life is about, I don't know. Like I remember me and Luke once we were at the restaurant Hush Puppies. Do you guys know Hush Puppies? Oh no, sorry. The Cookout. You guys know the Cookout? Yeah. So we were at the Cookout, and I didn't even know what the Cookout is, right? So me and Luke went in there. We're like, it's a Cookout, and we were like, okay, we're here. We're like, what is this? We're like, this is like some backwoods hick like fast food chain, right? And we're like, what's the most unhealthy thing you could get? And they're like, Hush Puppies. So me and Luke are sitting there. We're like, Cookout. We're at the Cookout. Like so obnoxious. Like the whole restaurant can hear. We're like, Cookout. And then we're like, what do we get? We're like, Hush Puppies. And then we order like hundreds of dollars in Hush Puppies. And we're like fucking throwing them at each other. And then we're like pounding the Hush Puppies. Cookout. Okay? That's one of the greatest moments of my life. Because end of the day, that's more fun than being Bill Gates fucking a goat. I don't know, maybe the goat's fun to fuck, right? But you know my point? Do you guys see what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
It's like yelling, just throwing Hush Puppies at each other and eating greasy batter is disgusting and dumb. And yet, if you were to look at the depth of that experience, that's a way higher ROI on that experience than sitting there banking more cash. You see what I'm saying? Why bank cash if you can't go to the Cookout, order all the Hush Puppies, and go, Cookout, Hush Puppies, and then smash greasy batter and throw it at each other? Why make money if you can't do that? Right? Yeah. But if you can't do that, why get paid at all? Right? If you look at who had more fun, who do you think has more fun? The guy's like, well, I've got my new house in Seattle in the tech area, and it's got a nice chandelier and some silverware. Fuck that shit. That's boring. Okay? How bored are you, bro? It's like the movie Fight Club with Ed Norton, and he gets all the stuff from IKEA, and he just decides he just wants to make a Fight Club, and he's so depressed about it, he makes an alter ego. That's why Fight Club is like the most defining movie. So, if you why make all that money and then you see a beautiful woman and you can't even go talk to her? You know what I'm saying? And it's like sex is empty and casual sex is empty until you realize that it might be the greatest moment of your life. You see what I'm saying, right? Like you saw that girl, and instead of being a little bitch and being like, oh, I'm scared, and oh my God, yeah, like kind of like I'm too professional, all that shit. You pulled up your nuts. You felt like the fucking man. You walked up. You had chemistry. There was a vibe going. You took her home. You had amazing sex. If you can't enjoy that, or you can't enjoy the cookout, you're broke, right? We've done some of the sickest fucking parties at my crib. Who here has ever been at a party at my crib? Anybody in here? You been to a party at my crib? You have fun?
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
What could be better? Like Hollywood Hills, view of the city, girls over, there with your friends, your homies. What is going to be better than that at a certain point? Like, what are you looking for? No, I have to do my taxes today, and fuck that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna die. Do you realize that all these people, they just impose their frames on you of what you're supposed to do? You just listen because you're a good little boy? Why are you being a good little boy? Look, don't hurt other people. Do unto others, others will do unto you, right? But I'm saying, you want to have as much fun as you can. That's the real discipline. So what some people will do is they'll try to here's what they'll do. People will reframe having fun as being hedonistic and as lazy, right? Like, oh, he's just some idiot up at the club. But you know what I did? I went to bed early and I met my macros and I grinded because I'm on the up and up. Okay, cool. You went to bed early, you grinded, you're on the up and up. Good for you, okay? But do you realize that there's people who made more money than you and are happier than you without doing that? You didn't have to do it that way. That wasn't actually true. In spurts, yes. In sprints, yes. In periods, yes. I'll still have periods where I'll just go to work 18 hours a day for 2 months straight, knock off a bunch of shit, and then get back to the party. That'll happen from time to time, and I'm not afraid of it. I'm not attached to having fun. But what I'm trying to show you is real genius recognizes the following things. Okay, say real genius. Recognize the following things. The shortness of life. The impermanence of life. Not buying into other people's frames of what the good life is. Celebrating small moments. Finding depth in small moments. Maximization of experience. Not making money identity. But using money as a resource for what I want to do. Not over-optimizing out of insecurity, but building exactly what I need. Living a great life, not being afraid to die, enjoy it while it lasts. It's a short fucking ride. Give yourselves a hand for that. That's fucking awesome. It's a short ride. And a smart person knows that. Smart person knows that. Okay? So what I'm trying to show you is a lot of that other stuff is really built to ignore what life is. Right? Yeah. They're afraid to die, so they try to I built an empire. Yeah, but you're gonna die.
Let's cope.
But I did all this, but I'm gonna die. It's just another cope. So life is about objectively auditing what this experience is, what you're meant to do with it, what you can derive from it, and being great at the open world game. Recognizing what this place is, who you are, beyond the ego, the biological drives, social conditioning. Who are you beyond that? That's life, okay? That's what living actually is, okay? And this is real enlightenment, okay? Real enlightenment is full retard, okay? This is real enlightenment. Real enlightenment is not sitting in an ashram, putting yourself in some weird trance thing over and over because you're denying the physical. Real enlightenment is not, maybe it could be for the right person. Real enlightenment is not just being some business guy. Real enlightenment is not denying life, okay? Real enlightenment is accurately auditing the video game you're in, okay? Accurately auditing the video game you're in. You need 20 million? You get it 2-3 years. 2-3 years to 20 mil, you get it. You want to have a certain kind of sex life, dating life, kids, family? 2-3 years, you get it. You don't get sucked into somebody else's rabbit hole. You don't get sucked into somebody else's values, including mine. You figure out what your values are. You figure out what you want out of life. You figure out all that stuff, okay? You figure it all out. When I'm laughing with my friends, that's me getting paid. Do you guys follow that?
Yes.
What's better, 10 grand or laughing with your friends? I'll take laughing with my friends. Okay? Because what's the 10 grand meant to produce?
Laughter with
Laughing with your friends. I could ball on a budget too, guys. What would you rather do? Be Bill Gates or be with women that are actually attracted to you, friends who actually like you, friends where you actually like them, and maybe you, I don't know, you go down, maybe you live in LA, you just find a quiet part of the beach, you put down a bunch of tables on you make it all white, you know, and like you have, so it has like a Greek kind of vibe to it, you know what I'm saying, right? Put down some pillows, maybe you invite like 20 girls, 5 or 6 of your guy friends, maybe someone's playing a guitar, you get a bonfire going, you bring over for some dinner. That's living. That's actually fun. You follow? That's actually fun. That's celebrating life. That's what God wants you to do. You think God wants you to just flagellate yourself, say you're evil, you're bad? No. If you're someone's father, what do you want your kids to do? Look, my kids are at the Lighting in a Bottle Festival right now. I'm texting their mom over and over. Are they having fun? Do they like the statues? Do they like the art? Are they swimming? Are they dancing? I want them to have fun. I don't want them to hate themselves. I don't want them to hate themselves. I don't want my kids to be miserable. What do you want for your children? Would the life I talked about here be a fun one for your children?
Oh, yeah.
Why not? Why can't it be that way for you? You know you could get rich easily if you just did a bit of marketing. You know you could get girls easily if you just had a bit of social skills. If I look in your feed right now and I see all the wasted time of dumb shit you're looking at in brain rot, what if we just took all that out? Take out the weed, the brain rot, take out the wasted time. Just take all that, take out the complaining, the victimization, the insecurities. Just take all that out and just focus on 5 or 6 things that actually get results. And then go enjoy your life. You know, you go out hiking in Gatlinburg, you see a bear. It's a great story. Reminds you that you're living life. That's real wealth. That's real wealth. That's real wealth. Wealth is meant to support the proliferation of life and support the enjoyment of life and support goals that you have and positive impacts that you want to create and positive outcomes and making the world a better place. So what are you using the money for? Now, here's what's funny about this. Part of the speech as I'm talking, now I do a lot of different speeches, right? And some of the speeches I do are just on how to make cash. We're going to cover that this weekend. We're going to cover that actually in a minute. But do you notice how when I give you a goal that you like, you suddenly actually want to go make some more cash? Do any of you guys feel like you're ready to make some cash right now?
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So see, I find for me, if I can't believe in the goal, if I don't believe in what I'm moving towards, I'm not going to make cash. If the vision fails to be sufficiently compelling, I'm not going to make cash. So I'm doing in this talk here, I'm trying to create a compelling vision of why you'd want to make cash. Did any of you guys ever feel before like making cash has to be painful and boring and it has to suck and it involves sacrifice, and as a result you just don't want to do it? You're like, well, maybe I'll just ride out this work thing for a bit longer. That sounds kind of hard. I hate that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then you think and maybe you feel a little bit this way too. Does part of you feel like this? Maybe you feel a bit of blasé towards life, and maybe a buddy of yours took you to a nice restaurant, or maybe took you on a boat, or took you on vacation, or maybe you saved up for it, right? And you went and you did it, and while it was kind of fun, you learned the powerful lesson. Repeat this after me. Wherever you go,
Wherever you go,
there you are.
there you are.
So any of you guys ever had that? Like, you wish you had more money, yes, but you've been to a good restaurant or you went on a vacation, either you paid for it and saved up for it, or you had a friend give it to you, but somehow you stumbled into it, maybe your parents, whatever, right? And it was fun, but it wasn't good enough to make you want to go through the hard parts of making cash. Anybody here ever feel that way?
Yep.
I felt that way massively, by the way. But by the way, I felt that way massively. Like, I knew what it took to make money, but it was so much self-sacrifice. It was so boring. And like, look, having a giant house is cool, but do you really want to have to go do shit that sucks $100 a week just to have some larger home? So try to follow me here. This is very powerful. If you actually liked what wealth would provide, you'd go get the money. That's why I'm teaching you this way. I've got a lot of people rich, guys. So there's a method to the madness here, okay? Can you guys guess how I got a lot of people rich? Imagine being around the kind of energy we're generating here. Would you get rich? Yeah. Imagine if you're here for a long time, would you get rich? Yeah. I've helped a lot of people to get rich because I know the keys to igniting motivation. I had a program once, I called it Endless Motivation. This is what endless motivation means, okay? Repeat this after me. It's a compelling vision. More emotionally relevant. Than the pain of making cash. Therefore, it becomes effortless. Like a magnet. Yeah, you just want to make cash. If you like what you're doing, you'll go make cash. Look, if I know that I want to go to Gatlinburg, like here's an example of what I did, okay? Just a simple example, you can make your own example. I set up a couple events. I did Charlotte, Atlanta, and I did Nashville, here. So I came here, okay? So I went to Charlotte. I like Charlotte, but I don't love it. Agreed? Does y'all agree? Come on, we're in Nashville. Nashville I love, right? I live here. Charlotte, I like it, don't love it, right? But then in between, what am I gonna go do? You know what I do love? Charleston. Y'all ever been to Charleston? Oh, yeah. How cool is Charleston? Yo, it's like the original OG Disney World, right? And what's the other OG Disney World in the South? Savannah, Georgia, right? A little bit of a dark history, not a fan of that, but it's a beautiful place, right? Even though I'm not a fan of history. But the point is, well, to be fair, I brought my kids there to see the evil things that can happen so they know not to ever indulge or not to ever believe in horrible things like that. But the point is, not they ever would, but just to make the point extra, hammer the point extra hard of how evil that is. Point being is that they're beautiful, beautiful cities that everybody from all backgrounds should go see. They're so beautiful, okay? Guys, when I was in Savannah, I was in this place called the Old Pink House where George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and other people from the War of Independence were scheming on and plotting, telling Britain to go fuck themselves for putting tax on tea. That was fucking baller. I'm in the basement where they would hang out. I'm walking down the paths where those guys walked. Maybe it's my own imagination, right? Guys, maybe it's my own imagination, but you know how it feels just to be sitting in the same room as Washington? You know what I'm saying? You know what that does to you? It gives you an inner strength, right? Even though he did bad things that I hate too. I don't agree with everything that guy did. But times are the times that are horrible. But the point is, like, what that does for you, just knowing, like, Washington was in this room. Now, whether that's imagination, which maybe it is, human beings, our experience is dictated very much by imagination. Listen, I went to the Parthenon. Do you guys know the Parthenon in Greece? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Objectively speaking, do the spirits of the people who created the Parthenon, do they still exist there? Yes. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe yes, maybe no. If you're going to be a little more feminine, you say yes. You be a little more masculine, you say, it's a rock. You know what I'm saying, right? But I don't know. I just think sometimes you could indulge. You know what I mean, right? What if it's wrong? What if it's fucking wrong? What if also the ginseng doesn't really have the lessons? I'm just paying $1,500. You know what I'm saying? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? It's real to me. So when you're there at the Parthenon, or you're there where Washington was there, bring a tear to your eye, man. You know what I'm saying, right? Do you know that? Do you know the kind of images it puts in your mind as you just walk down the same street that George Washington was at? What that does to you emotionally? How that inspires you? How that awakens you? How that makes you want to do your greatest work? How it connects you to God? Connects you to creation? What that does, right? Or you can sit at home and you can look at TikTok, smoke weed and fap endlessly. Well, I like the fapping part, but you know my point, right? So, pro-fat movement. But anyway, you guys see what I'm getting at here, right? You can choose, you can go to the Parthenon and you can be like, yeah, it's a bunch of rocks. Or you can choose to see it as a spiritual infusion from Greece. You can see it that way. You can go to Rome and you can sit there in the Colosseum and these ancient buildings and you can go, it's a bunch of rocks. Or you can choose to let the magic sink in. Look, you get a hot girl giving you like a kind of like a lap dance kind of vibe before you fuck. And you can be like, well, it's just a human body and reproduction. Or you can let her work her magic on you, right? You can let her be like some dumb girl who's kind of annoying, who has a period and has to shave her fucking pussy and wax her lip. Or you can view her as an oracle. And that's up to you. And both would be true, right? Both are true. But you can choose to let her femininity into you and heal you and change you and get you present and bring happiness and bring balance and calm down your nervous system. A lot of great things women could do. You can take the magic or you can say fuck off, right? You can be here in the speech and say, I'm in the presence of one of the great speeches in human history, and this shit will be around for years after. It's creative. It's not the same old tired I love Tony, but Tony Robbins style speech that everybody jocks and copies and bites off of, and there's something original happening here of a guy that committed his life to it, and there'll be millions of people that'll watch the speech over time, and I was here in this fucking room with Owen and my fellow people here, and I took energy from it. Or you could go, it's just some guy blathering on, right? And you can take it however the fuck you want. That's up to you, right? You could take the 150-year-old ginseng and say, it's some stupid plant, or you could take it as the wisdom of the plant. That's up to you. And the truth is, what you believe about it will probably be somewhat true. But again, look here at how I motivate myself, okay? If I'm gonna go do something, I go to Charlotte, I run an event there. What do I do in between? What do I take the time to do in between?
Fun things.
Go to Savannah, walk the same path as George Washington. You know what a lot of the coaches that I used to hire would do? They go to Charlotte and they sit in their fucking hotel room all week, bored, waiting to go to the next city. They'd never go explore. But let me ask you a question. Being a coach, which is a great cash flow business, is that a business to become a billionaire, or is it more what's called a lifestyle business?
Lifestyle business.
Right? So the pay, look at this. Let's say that let's just make it a round number, even though it's very different. Call it 10 grand a weekend to make it easy. Let's say that you made 10 grand in Charlotte, 10 grand in Atlanta, 10 grand in Nashville. Just make it simple. It's not that at all, but make it simple, right? But what would it cost you to go to Savannah? Fly there, book the hotel, eat the food there, right? That costs money too, right? Am I right? Yeah. To go to Gatlinburg, that costs money, right? But I'm here anyway in between. So my brain, watch what I'm doing. So in my brain, I'm gonna be here for 2.5 weeks anyway to do Charlotte, Atlanta, Nashville, right? If I just go 10K, 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 what am I getting out of that? 30K. Now what if, follow this, what if you go to Savannah in between, rather than sitting in your hotel? To go fly there anyway would cost money. So you're generating a say the word higher ROI. Higher ROI. That's return on investment, right? Now take the fact, here's where it gets even more tricky. Watch this. We are right near Savannah, Georgia. Who here has actually been? Put your hands up. So less than half the room has been, and you're right here. So try to follow this. You want to know another ROI? The other ROI is it made you do something you would not have naturally done on your own. That's priceless. That's priceless. You can't put a price on that, on something that you would not have done. So if by being in the South, it motivates you to do something that you would not have done anyway, you can't put a price on that because its worth is infinite. Because you would not have done it. So it's.
I don't think I understand that.
So, okay. To go to Alaska is the real wealth. Who here's ever been to Alaska and like properly toured it? Put your hands up. How would you guys, for the few of you who have done it, yell out loud how incredible is going to Alaska?
It's like the most magnificent place in the world.
Louder, please.
Most magnificent place in the world.
Yeah, could any amount of money in the city be as good as what you see in Alaska?
Impossible.
Impossible. Who here else would yell out what they saw? Who here else went to Alaska?
You see nature.
Yell.
You see things you would never see before, and it's like irreplaceably, like you can only go to Alaska to do it. It's like an infinite loop of going to Alaska was amazing.
Yeah. Now, to go to Alaska, follow this, okay? Yeah. To go to Alaska on like a cruise boat might be 5-10 grand, right? But none of you will do it. None of you will actually do it. It's a challenge, by the way. Don't be a pussy. Okay, be like, no, I will do it. But anyway, so look. So what I'm saying is, it's amazing. Here's why you won't do it. Try to follow this, okay? You have a job. You have to ask the guy for a break. You don't really make that much cash. And then to go there, if it's 10 grand, but you make like 50 grand a year, it's like 20% of your yearly income. And the amount, in order to get that trip of a week, you had to work several months, and you don't want to burn the money. But even if you did, you'd never initiate it. Okay? Is there a word called peloton in biking or something? Yeah. Is the peloton like the guy at the front?
No, it's the group.
It's the group?
Yeah.
Okay, well I think it's almost like the guy at the front has this like energy field. They're kind of like penetrating, so everyone just kind of follows. You know what I'm saying, right? The actual initiator this is super deep, okay? Pay attention, this is genius. The actual initiator is having to breach The autopilot. Say, having a breach. The autopilot. They're having to envision it. Say that.
They're having to envision it.
They're having to break the habits.
They're having to break their
Break the autopilot.
break the auto.
Find the will.
Find the will.
Drive the will.
Drive the will.
Okay? So, like, it's not that going to Alaska is hard. It's literally not hard at all. It's super easy. But you'll never actually do it. And I'm telling you, if you knew this one thing, you'd get rich, okay? Knowing how helpless you are. I'm telling you, if you can admit how helpless you are, you'll know why you're not rich, okay? Like, let me give you a challenge to any of you here. For some of you with less resources, make a challenge to go to Savannah one time this year. Okay? Now, right now, for those of you who are maybe inspired by that, how sure are you that if I challenge you, you'll actually go to Savannah? How sure are you? Very sure, right? Yeah. If in 1 year you don't actually do it, will you admit to me and yourself that you're helpless? No, but here's how it will happen. I'll go this week. Well, you know, the kids, the mortgage, the car, the time off, the Super Bowl, I'm tired. Next week. Oh, actually next week. Oh, actually next week. Oh, next week. Right? Well, and then here's the end. The end is the cope, is the rationalization cope. Well, I don't know, like Savannah's not even that good, and like that was just a seminar. He kind of had me hyped up. I don't actually want to go to Savannah. You see how that works?
Didn't want to go to Savannah.
Cool. We'll see it in a year. And then for those of you with a bit more resources, make it Alaska. Anybody here who has resources like, fuck it, I'm going to Alaska this year after we talk about it? Who would put their hands up for that? Okay, if in a year you don't go, admit you're helpless. Okay? You want to know why? Because I admit I'm helpless. You know what I do? Here's what I do. This is so crazy, okay? Watch this. Insane. We only get the will to break autopilot like a couple minutes a day. Other than that, every day is like this repeat of the same thought patterns, the same habits, day in and day out. We're massively on autopilot. We only actually get non-autopilot will on rare occasion. Something that most people don't know about me, my greatest skill set of anything I probably have is I have an uncanny capacity to break autopilot for an extended period of time. It's very hard. Okay? How do we know that? Cold approach. Right? What's your brain telling you with cold approach? Cold approachers have some of the best non-autopilot willpower. I bet you do. It trains you because because you go in, you're like, oh, I don't want to approach. And then you make yourself do it. So that trains the will to break autopilot again and again and again and again and again for hours a week. It's super crazy. When I'm doing the speech, the hard part of the speech is the free associative aspect of it. That's actually why most people can't do what I'm doing. By the way, I want to alert you and draw your awareness to what I'm doing in the speech. Go like this. Okay, watch this. Okay, listen how loud I am. Okay, copy that sound. Okay, stop. One at a time. Copy that sound. Okay, so watch this, okay? Okay, watch. Wait. I'm speaking at around that volume. Try just going A without even talking at that volume right now. Just A. Just A? Yeah. Do that. Okay, do you see how his brain blocks him? Yeah. His brain's blocking because it's a status block. I've talked about that in many other videos you've probably seen. But imagine sustaining this volume for how long I've been up here. If you go at this volume for even a minute and a half outside, your voice will kill you. You're gonna fry your voice. Your nervous system will be shocked. I'm sustaining this for hours up here. Now, most people give a speech, what do they use? A PowerPoint. They might go off script for 10 minutes, 20 minutes of speech. How long can I go off script for? That's the non-autopilot part of the brain. How about when I go out and I'm talking to girls? Hours and hours, non-autopilot part of the brain. It's actually, my brain is like the Ronnie Coleman or Arnold Schwarzenegger, but of non-autopilot, like lateral thinking and holding my nervous system while I do speeches. I learned it from going out and from doing free associative speeches and being an inventor and a pioneer. Okay? Getting off groupthink. It's all the stuff I taught in Blueprint Decoded about groupthink versus seeing the world in your own eyes. That's what the speech is. Here's what I realize. Even at my level, By the way, I used to hide this stuff. I used to not talk about this stuff because it sounds arrogant and cocky, like I'm bragging, and it is. It totally is. But I realized that if I don't draw people's attention to it, they don't even know what they're seeing. So I'm trying to show you what you're seeing, okay? So what I do, I know that even at my autopilot versus willpower ratio, I know that I only break autopilot a certain amount of time. So, by the way, that's also why you should never smoke weed. What happens if you smoke weed habitually? What happens? It becomes autopilot. So now you've got to break your autopilot to stop it. It's very hard. It's actually very hard to quit. It's habit forming, as they say, right? So we are mostly on autopilot. You don't think you're on autopilot, but you are, okay? So then what happens is you've got a couple minutes a day that you're not on autopilot. What I do is I realize when I'm not on autopilot. And then I make a decision that forces my autopilot while asleep to do the thing I want. You guys see that? Okay, here's an example. The Greeks come in, they want to sack Troy. What's the first thing they do? Everyone knows, it's cliche. Come on, guys, it's cliche. What do? They say the word burn the boats.
Burn the boats.
So why do they do that? Because in a moment of non-autopilot, in a moment of will, just for 10 seconds, light up a torch, throw it on the boat. Well, then what does that do to the autopilot in terms of sacking the city and winning the war?
There's no turning back.
There's no turning back, right? If they leave the boat, what are they going to do?
They might want to retreat.
They're likely going to retreat because it's too painful. It's too hard. Too painful, too hard. So say the word burn the boats.
Burn the boats.
Another one is throw the hat over the fence.
Throw the hat over the fence.
So look, you only need to break your autopilot for a second, take your hat off, throw it over the fence. Well, if you want that hat back, what do you have to do now? You have to do the hard thing of crawling over the damn fence. Another one is public declarations. Say public declarations. Why? Because if you tell everybody, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to go do that, you're going to look dumb if you don't do it. The part of your brain that wants to be congruent to your projected identity is autopilot, right? Yeah. What is the number one force in human nature? To be consistent in your identity. You want to be consistent to who you say you are. It's a survival thing. So if you say, I'm the best public speaker in the world, I am the best public speaker to ever live, if you say that, you do the 7-hour speech. Because you want to be consistent in what you said. You dig deeper when you do the speech because you said it. So now you have to. So ironically, if I just say I'm the best speaker, the next thing you know, I'm setting up free events everywhere. I'm booking the free events. I'm filling the free events. I'm coming up the front. I'm giving my best effort because I have to be consistent in what I said, right? So to do a speech like this would be impossible purely just from non-autopilot will. But if I say I'm the best, I book the events, I get here, once you all are here, you think I'm not going to come crush it? So say the word, create the conditions.
Create the conditions.
In a moment of clarity.
In a moment of clarity.
That your autopilot nature does the rest of the work.
Does the rest of the work.
Okay, so what I do, I get around experts. Another classic one is just taking a training. Who here has ever been on one of my boot camps? Put your hand up if you have. When you guys were on boot camp, did you go full effort because you want to get an ROI in the training?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I did.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Did you? Did you? Okay, like how hard did you go on a boot camp?
Really fucking hard.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can never make yourself do that. But if you threw down a bit of money on a training, you're like, fuck this shit, I gotta get an ROI. Like if I fill the room, I'm like, fuck, I gotta get an ROI on this, I gotta get my money back on this shit, right? So I'm gonna go crazy. I could never, look, if this was just set up for me, and I never said I'm the best speaker, and I never filled the room, do you guys know that every little minute that I spend annoyingly going, how often have you guys seen me say, remember to come to the Nashville free tour, remember to come to the Nashville free tour, come on y'all, I'm in Nashville, hey, it's me again, it's Owen, I'm in Nashville, the free tour's sick, you're gonna love the free tour, it's Owen again, I'm in Nashville. How many times have you heard me say Nashville the last about 6 months, right? Okay, well, now I spent a ton of money, rented the room, brought my staff, brought the cameras, it's expensive as fuck. Okay, there's a reason why Grant Cardone doesn't have a free tour. It hemorrhages money. But if you want to be the best speaker, you want to be the best, you set up the conditions to be the best. If I'm here, and the only reason I'm here is literally that I'm going to get a killer fucking legendary transcendent, legacy-based speech that survives the test of time, how much energy am I going to have when I come here?
Infinite.
Is this me punching half step, or is this me punching through the fucking wall?
Through the wall.
I'm punching through the fucking wall. So is it really that I'm the most skilled, or is it that I know how to create the conditions to marshal more resources? You see that? So what you can do is you can trick your brain to marshal more resources. So the inner trickery is the art. Okay? Look, in basketball, Michael Jordan said he was the best at marshaling motivation. Do you guys remember how he would do it?
Show up 2 hours early to every game.
Yeah, but how do you get the motivation to show up 2 hours early? Here's what he would do, okay? Michael Jordan would do two things. One is he would imagine a kid who came to see him play, paying very high price for an NBA ticket, and that was the only time he's ever going to get to see Jordan play, maybe, so he didn't want to disappoint the kid. Is that motivating?
Hell yeah.
That would suck, right? If you didn't step up. You know, another thing he did was kind of weird. I wouldn't really do this, but it was, kind of weird, but he did it. He would fictionally create an enemy. You guys know about this? Yeah. Like, there's other players that would report, like, they'll be like, I was with Michael, I was with MJ, and we're at dinner, and, like, the other manager from the other team came in, and he'd say, that guy shit-talked me. And I'm like, Michael, he didn't even say anything. He's like, yeah, he did. Fuck that guy. I'll destroy him. And then he would mercilessly go taunt the guy the next day. Like there'd be some guy might have a good game against him, and he'd be like waiting for like half a year to play him again. He would just like drop like 60 points on him or something, right? So why did he do that? Because it's not just about skill. Look, in the NBA level, they all have skill. Do you guys get that? No. Do you guys really get that? Like the bench warmer guy and the elite guy are not that different. They're both just like big, tall, athletic, mega athletes, right? So the elite part is more related to can they trick their own damn brain in order to do what they're supposed to do. It's about tricking their brain. I've taken several $1 million in self-help courses. Imagine the amount of marketing courses I've taken. I've trained with Roger Love, who trained Prince, Michael Jackson, Eminem. I paid him one-on-one $1 gazillion. I spent $500,000 on trauma healing work, one-on-one, just with a coach. You want to know the hilarious truth? I love that guy. And he taught me great stuff, but I say this kind of as a joke that's not a joke. I'm not even sure what I learned in the damn trauma healing course. All I know is when I get in bad mood, I go, I paid $300,000 and not feel trauma anymore, so I'm not feeling this trauma. Like, that's literally just like I don't even know. I'm like, breathe or something, like breath work or grounded. Look, I'm just not having trauma anymore, okay? It's like the investment makes you do it, okay? When I took my boot camp with Mystery originally, like it was amazing. It was super great. I loved every minute of it. But when Friday night came along and I'd blown all my money to take that damn boot camp, I'm going out. Like he could have just not even taught me anything. I paid that money to learn that shit. I'm going out. Like that's it. I'm just going out. Like so, in a lot of ways, it's the investment that tricks your brain to get an ROI. That's the problem. Is a lot of people will never self-invest, and if they never self-invest, they never have any fear of they never have any loss aversion, and so they're stuck. Okay. Another trick that I do is when I shoot videos, I shoot them in nature. Do you guys see how a lot of my videos I shoot in nature?
Yeah.
Those trips are like 20, 30 grand in some cases to bring up my whole team and to edit the video. If I know that I'm dropping 20K on a video shoot, how much am I gonna bring it?
All of it. You're gonna do it.
So is it really that I'm the most skilled, or is it that I understand that I'm helpless? If I know that I'm helpless, if I know that, that's the genius. You guys know, full retard, right? Do you guys know the Dunning-Kruger effect?
Yes.
Dumb people think they're smart. What about opposite Dunning-Kruger? What if you're a smart guy, but you make yourself believe you're dumb? What are you gonna do? You're gonna take notes. You're gonna take notes on everything. You're gonna get a mentor. You're gonna join mastermind groups. You're gonna do weird things like self-motivate, like weird little things like, book the trip to do the video or book the free tour to do the talk. If you just say, I'm dumb as fuck, then you're gonna go get help. You're gonna leverage yourself. You're gonna do things that you need. You ever have an idea and in that moment, you're like, oh, this is genius. And then you're like, I should probably write down the idea. And then you go, no, I wouldn't forget. And then a day later, you're like, oh, fuck. 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 Because you didn't write it down. and then you just never do it. If you knew that you're dumb, then you would have done it. You see you dig what I'm saying here, right? Yeah. If you knew that you're dumb, then you would have created the notes, you would have written it down, you would have got a mastermind group, you would have invested money, you would have generated loss aversion, you would have thrown your hat over the fence, you would have burned the boats, you would have created the identity, you would have got around the right people, admitting that you're helpless. But we're all too smart, right? I mean, speaking of Michael Jordan, he had 11 coaches. He had Phil Jackson. You guys ever read the book Relentless, Timothy S. Grover? Oh, I mean, who here's read Relentless? Put your hands up. Oh, guys, you're killing me. You guys all need to read Relentless. Also read the book Winning by Timothy S. Grover. All incredible. For those of you guys who read Relentless or Winning, how good of a coach is Timothy S. Grover?
Ridiculous.
Come on, say it louder.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Like how good?
World class.
Like how world class?
Like coaching Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant.
I mean,
Jordan, Kobe, Dwayne Wade.
yeah, Coach Kobe, Coach Dwayne Wade. I mean, if Timothy S. Grover's your coach, you're going to fucking win, right? It's not a coincidence all these mega winners coach with Grover. If you know you're helpless, you go hire Timothy S. Grover, right? Maybe Phil Jackson is your coach, whatever, right? You realize where you're at and you make it actually happen. You surround yourself with the right influences, you make it happen. I went out of my way to metaphorically polish the knob of anybody whose influence I wanted, okay? Whether that is people that didn't offer trainings, and I do whatever it took to become friends with them. Like for example, when I was first learning social skills, you didn't have YouTube videos. You couldn't watch someone on a YouTube video. So I would literally call people from different chat forums and beg them to come and meet and fly and go meet them and go out with them. Tons of them sucked. But so you guys get to see infield online or take a training. I couldn't do that. I would have to go to guys that were less than 1% as good as I am today and beg them to show me stuff and sleep on their floors. I went to every personal growth training. I learned from experts. I learned from mentors. I got friends that are good. I got around the right people. I went in nature. I learned from nature. I learned from watching a black bear yesterday. So how does that impact me? What do we know about how helpless we are? We become who we're around. Say that.
We become who we're around.
You will helplessly become who you're around. When I grew a beard, I grew it to remind myself the primitive era that we come from. And because having a beard is so fucking weird, I have a habit of licking my beard. I keep doing this. I'm like, this is crazy. My little beard is crazy. You ever do that? Like, I got a hair on my face. It migrated from my head to my face and my back. I got hair, right? I lick it. Guess what everyone around me does? But they don't have a beard.
Like your beard?
They do that all the time. They lick my beard. It's not gay. Yeah. So, yeah, they lick the beard. Right? Why? Because you become who you hang out with. You also adopt their energy frequencies, right? That's why you got to be careful about hanging out with losers too much. That's why people say don't hang out with losers. My thing, though, is my frame is so strong, I can get around someone at a low frame and I'll rip them up. But man, can you imagine how fast I shut that shit the fuck down when someone's being a loser? Someone's a loser to me, I'm like, listen, shut the fuck up. Every word out of your mouth is fake. I don't want to hear another fucking word out of you. There's only winning. Let's go. I'm like metaphorically, boom, 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 boom. Shut the fuck up. We're going to the top. Like, that's my personality. Any weird negativity, I'm like, negative shit. Shut up. Like, it's like a sword. Slice the head off the negative demon. Okay? Like, I'm vicious. That makes me a great coach. So I can coach lower level guys. Most of you guys that are not quite at that level where you'll actually tolerate negativity and brokenness, and you're even broke yourself and negative yourself, and you intermingle with it and you have sex with it, you're not able to be around that energy because it's just gonna fucking infect you because you're having sex with that energy. Me, I get that energy, bam, okay? And then the person just turns good, instantly. Instant transformation. Instant transformation. Can you guys imagine how fast I cut that shit off? Instant. Hey, shut the fuck up. Go to the top. Now. That's my mindset. It's like this penetrating rocket ship. I'm going to the top. The engine that I have is so strong, you can clasp onto it, you can try to weigh it down. It's just so much rocket fuel, it's just gonna go up. That's the art form that I learned from my mentors, from my peers, from my courses, from my work, from the way that I set up my life, etc., etc. Always full retard. What do you guys think I'm doing when I'm going full retard? Can you guess?
You're leading.
I'm giving myself a reason to live. I have a reason to live. I'm giving myself a reason to live. Okay? To make money, you have to have a compelling vision. Okay? Me sitting in an office to make cash is not compelling enough for me to not do dumb shit. So I require a compelling vision that makes me want to take action to make cash. Going, well, I'll be a billionaire and have to sit in office all day. Not compelling. If it was compelling, you'd all be billionaires. All of you are smart enough. So it's clearly not compelling enough. Blame the following for why you're not at where you're at. Say this after me. Lack of compelling vision. Lack of compelling vision. Lack of mentors. Lack of mentors. Lack of masterminds. Lack of masterminds. Not leveraging resources. Not leveraging resources. Not recognizing when I'm... Okay, sorry. This is like fucked up. We'll compress it. Failing to recognize when I have a moment of clarity and setting up my autopilot to do what I want when I'm thinking clearly. You see that? Like, okay, look, say, for example, one day you wake up, you're like, man, I got to get a gym membership. And in that moment of clarity, you're like, fuck it. You know what you should do? Go to the most expensive gym you can afford. Don't cheap out. Look, if you get the $12 a month 24-hour fitness membership, are you going to go to the gym? No. What do you get the $450 a month membership? What are you going to do?
All the time.
That's priceless. You remember I said going to Alaska is priceless? Because you're doing something you would not have done anyway. So you've got to find a way to get yourself to do something you wouldn't have done anyway. Now watch what I'm doing, okay? When I say always go full retard, and what I described earlier, here's what I'm doing. One is, I'm creating a compelling vision, say compelling vision, of happiness, and freedom, to motivate myself, to make cash. Okay, so in other words, it makes me hyper motivated, like to get to go full retard, parties, nature, fun, I'm motivated, right? That's motivating. That's what I was trying to craft for you before, was a motivating vision. But the other thing I'm doing, by being a retard, what else am I doing? Say this word, generating energy. Generating energy. Okay? So do you guys see how my energy goes up the longer I'm on stage? Yes. Why is it going up? Full retard. Okay? So what I'm doing is I'm manicuring my own energy. Say manicuring my own energy.
Manicuring my own energy.
Manicuring my own state. Okay, so in other words, part of why you fail is you hate what you're doing, you're being drained by it, and then you just make excuses and stop. Well, what's the point of that? There's no point. Right? The job or the business you create should be the one you'll actually do. Right? Yeah. Not some bullshit you won't do, but one you'll actually do. If you're not going to actually do it, why sell out if you're not going to actually do it? So what I'm doing when I do a party, or I get laid, or I joke around, or I talk to a girl, or I go in the forest, or I laugh with my friends, or I throw out a hush puppy, is I'm feeding energy into myself. Repeat this after me, the cup runneth over. The cup runneth over. Okay, so I'm feeding energy into myself via a compelling vision. Compelling vision. A vision I'm excited about. A life that I actually want to build. Something I resonate with. Doing it via what I'm here to do. And then generating my own energy. So the cup runneth over. So look at the three things I'm doing, okay? Watch this. I'm creating a vision that's super badass so that I want to do it. That's number one. Then what I'm doing is I'm doing what I'm meant to do, which gives you the power of God. So one is of the intellect. Watch this. Intellect, it's something cool for my mind. What I'm here to do, that's something good for my soul. Recharging energy by laughing and throwing around a hush puppy, doing what's good for my body. Mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, and soul. If you're laughing and moving and joyful, what's that doing? Generating energy. Okay? If you're doing what you're here to do, what is that doing? Generating energy. If you believe in what you're doing as a compelling vision, what is that doing? And here's the last one. If you're observant, say the word know thyself. Know thyself. It's actually the first principle of philosophy is know thyself, right? Is that the Oracle of Delphi? Yeah. Okay. Say know thyself. Know thyself. So if I know that I'm only off of autopilot for a certain period of time. And I'm on the high end. I'm on like way high in the spectrum of that. I'm high on autism spectrum, retard spectrum, not autopilot spectrum. So, yeah, I'm on full spectrum. So always go full spectrum. So if I know myself, okay, so you add mind, body, and soul, and if you know yourself and you know, okay, I'm having a moment of clarity, while I'm thinking clearly, I need to set things up to make it where I'll take my hardest punch. That also helps you. Again, for me, that's like shooting a video in nature that is like a 20K video production for one video. Whatever it is for you, that's the right amount of money for you. It doesn't have to be 20K. For someone, it could be $1. You know, man, I didn't want to lose that dollar. That motivates you, right? But I'm doing that, or again, come to free tour, come to free tour, come to free tour, setting it up, getting the cameras going, having you guys here. That's going to get me to get my hardest punch. Now, add to that, say nutrition.
Nutrition.
Say Eastern herbs.
Eastern herbs.
Deep sleep.
Deep sleep.
Not substance. Food that supports my nervous system.
Food that supports my nervous system.
Food that generates energy.
Food that generates energy.
Deep sleep.
Deep sleep.
You guys see how that works? Now what are you doing? Stacking. So you're gonna see me do this weekend different types of trainings, by the way. Like if you've been to one of these events before, I have different formats of training that I do each weekend, right? Like tomorrow, I'll be doing public speaking, we'll be doing money. So I try to show different stuff. So every free tour, I do one crazy ass speech, okay? Who's ever been to a free tour before? Put your hands up. So, you know, you can tell them, right? This is like the crazy ass speech part of the free tour, okay? It's the fun part. And basically what I'm trying to do with the crazy ass speech is I'm trying to just show you an example of public speaking, say the word public speaking, improvisation, free association, and the most important, say embodiment. So in other words, I'm talking, like what I try to do, like if I do a speech about humor, rather than just being like, well, step one about humor is the rule of threes. Do you guys know that one? Like you say, like a fish, an elk, and a can of paint. You know, right? Like two things that associate, and then the third thing's different, right? That's like a principle of humor. I don't want to. If I'm going to teach humor, I don't want to be like, here's the rule of threes. Here's how you do an accent. I want to come up, I want to do the rule of threes and crack you guys up. I want to do an accent. Like, I want to be funny, okay? You know, if I do a meditation speech, I'll do a totally different style, and I'll sit there like present. I'll be like really calm and more chill voice. I'll get present. Everyone's like, God, like, and here's what's funny. Whatever speech I do, if you sell it well, people will like that style. So like, if I do this style, if someone likes it, they'll like, if I do this well, people in the comments of a video will be like, I love like how you're just being crazy and free and I don't have to stress. Or, like, they'll say that. But then later, I'll do one about humor and they're like, I like how I laughed when I watched that one. This is my new favorite type. Then if I do one about meditation, people in the comments will be like, no, I like this kind of speech, the chill one. I like you best when you're chill. Then if I do a really intense, logical, technical one, because I do those too, they're like, I like it when you don't just ramble and you get technical, right? So a speech, if you sell it well, in the moment, the same guy who likes all your stuff will fall in love with that. You guys have any music artists where like they have different types of music they do, and as you're listening to it, it's your new favorite song? But then you watch another thing, that's your new favorite song? Okay, a great speech should be like that. So what I'm doing in these speeches, this part of the free tour, is I'm showing you, first of all, public speaking. Do you guys feel like just even watching this, you understand public speaking a bit better? Yes. Now, I'm also showing you, when I do these speeches, improvisation, okay? So sometimes people watch my free tour speeches and they're like, well, or they'll say things like, well, people paid to watch that. I'm like, no, dude, people paid for Blueprint Decoded. People paid for how organized is Blueprint Decoded? Really? How organized is it?
Literally 20 discs.
Yeah, it's 20 discs, but how structured is it?
Sequential.
I prepared it sequentially for 5 fucking years, okay? Yeah, if you look at Hot Seat at Home, sequential, it's structured. Blueprint Reloaded, sequential, it's structured. You come to my boot camps, sequential, it's structured. It's just a different type of teaching. In-field teaching is a different type of teaching, right? Meditation teaching is a different type of teaching. Public speaking training is a different type of teaching. I like a lot of different types of teaching. So this particular type of teaching that I do at a free event, I don't even charge money for it, and I do it specifically because I don't charge money, is I want to demo some public speaking, demo it. That gives me a chance selfishly to work on my public speaking, but it also shows you guys what public speaking looks like. What you saw here, which is unique, and you would rarely see this anywhere else, is you guys saw, say the word, improvised public speaking. Improvised public speaking. So very few people in the world can thread together unlimited improvised self-help speeches. Maybe because it's not that cool, but I think it's cool, okay, right? I think it's dope. So that's, do you guys see what I'm saying here? Like, I'm showing you something very specific here, which is like where your brain goes, holy shit, this guy could just talk forever. Now, the other thing you saw here was vocal projection. People at home will never appreciate the vocal projection the way you guys do. Because remember I said that the mic auto balances it. What would you guys say to the people at home for the way I'm using my voice to saturate the room? How do you describe it for people at home?
Ricochet.
Penetrating.
Yeah, it goes everywhere.
Okay, bang, 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 like that. By the way, this is a big room with space at the back. Okay, but in a room that's tight, holy shit. Sometimes I'll be in rooms like the Tillery in New York, and I feel like I'm an X-Man. I can just bounce. I can literally go bang, 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 and I can just bounce it off the walls. It's like you're Thor. It's really fun. So you guys basically saw a combination of public speaking, you saw improvisation, you saw vocal projection, and you guys saw me embody the concept being discussed. Okay? So I could have made a list and been like, here's how you have a lot of energy. Step 1, ginseng. Step 2, always find the value in things. Step 3, da-da-da. Why did I teach it this way with this kind of explosion or firework of like this fire hose just shooting everywhere? Why did I show it this way? Embodiment. I'm trying to live it. Also, if you want to make a lot of money, so I've coached a lot of guys that made a lot of money. A big thing that I coached them on was say the word Genesis. Say Genesis. Genesis. So in other words, you guys probably forget this about me, but I'm the pioneer of an entire industry. I generated a philosophy from scratch. I had a couple great mentors. I love them. But the amount of Genesis energy. What's the word Genesis mean? Creation. Say the word creation. Creation. Say 0 to 1.
0 to 1.
Like, imagine if you could just create speeches like this. Imagine how much you could be an ambassador for your brand just creating content. Or imagine how much you could create an invention. So can you guys see if I'm able to create this much out of the top of my head, off the dome, am I good at making an invention? Am I good at making a philosophy? In other words, say the word 0 to 1.
0 to 1.
Creating something where there was nothing. So that's why we say that we are forged in the image of our Creator. We're creator beings. So part of what I'm doing, okay, when I'm up here doing a speech like this, I'm showing you my creative process of how I build things even when I'm quiet at home, okay? So what I did was, in effect, here's what I did. I get up here and I basically prod myself into a hypomanic state. Say the word hypomanic state.
Hypomanic state.
Okay, so let me tell you a bit about that. There's 2 types of leaders. Crisis leaders. Fuck it, go for it. And say administrative leaders.
Administrative.
Okay, so, you know, when World War II is happening and you've got to invent D-Day, motherfucker, and you create the Ruperts as a distraction, and then you generate D-Day and you storm the beach of Normandy, should that be like a good administrator? No, what do you need there? Say the word creativity.
Creativity.
And fucking balls. Say that.
And fucking balls.
Yeah, right? So this is the kind of state that you go in when you're being creative to shake things up. Say the word shake things up.
Shake things up.
Okay? Now, once you're in a stable place, the key is don't fuck it up. Say that.
Don't fuck it up.
Okay, so an administrative leader is when, you know, inflation's good, the gas prices are good, people are relatively happy, there's peace. You don't need some guy to come in and be like, full retard, right? You don't need that. You need an administrator. Here's what's cool. You can also be an administrator. You can walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. Look, you can be a badass pimp, and you can also be a good boyfriend, right? You can be fun, and you can be logical. You can do both. So you want to cultivate the capacity to calmly sit down and be an administrator. It's funny because some of my friends who know me as this guy that I'm being here will see me when I go in my administrator mode, and they forget I'm a Queen's University graduate. That's like going to Harvard in Canada. I'm like a Harvard grad. I'm an essay writer. I write 20, 40, 50-page papers, hyper-structured and logical. So sometimes I'll write a manual, and one of my other academic friends will see this. He'll go, where'd you get this? I go, I wrote it. They go, you didn't write this. I go, I wrote it. It's like some 50-page manual I wrote. They're like, you're Owen, you're getting pussy and having a party. You didn't write this. I'm like, no, I sat down last night for 3 hours. I wrote it. They don't realize that you can do both. It's like a girl that could be a slut in the bedroom, you know, good girl and outside, you know, whatever, right? So you could do both. So when I'm being an administrator in my job, I calm down, I lay things out in a structured way, I get the right people around me, we lay it out, and we keep the shit moving. But sometimes I sit with my team and I go, time to create some shit, bitch. Say that. Time to create some shit, bitch. Listen, let me tell you something. Do you guys know what a Patek Philippe Nautilus is?
Yeah.
And do you know what RM is?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so if I'm around rich guys, I wear a Patek Philippe. What's a Patek Philippe look like? It's very sleek. You guys got that? Right? If I'm around rich guys, I might wear like a nice subtle sapphire rose gold tag, like a nice thin necklace, a Patek Philippe. Now the Patek Philippe is worth 100 and something grand, but I'll wear something very subtle, right? Why do you want to dress like if I go to like a high-end networking event of rich people? Why do I not wear this?
Because it's low value to be flashy.
It's low value to be, but it's low value. Why is it low value? You're not wrong, but why is it low value?
It seems compensatory. You're like trying to prove, look how rich
Compensatory, and also those without power, flex power. Those that are mega rich, hide power so they don't get kidnapped and robbed. Right? Oh yeah, my richest clients are wearing hoodies. They don't wear Rolex. My clients at $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million wear a Rolex, AP, Patek, RM. When you're at 500 mil, you wear a tracksuit and you drive a Honda. Why do you drive a Honda if you're super rich? Guys, why do you drive a Honda Accord if you got $1 billion?
No one looks at you.
So you don't get robbed. All you want is your children, because when you're that rich, your children get kidnapped and then they fucking ransom you, right? They rob you. So if you're aspirational, you flex the big stones and so on and so forth, right? When you've already made it, you wear Hermes, you wear Loro Piana. What is Hermes and Loro Piana like? Okay, Hermes or Loro Piana is like the same shirt that you have, but by an Italian tailor with the finest embroidery and the finest possible material, but it just literally looks like that. And it's like 10,000 for a shirt or like some dumb shit. Not really, but you know my point, right? So Loro Piana, why do the mega rich wear that?
Signaling?
Why do no, there's no signaling. You can't tell. He could be wearing Loro Piana right now. The only person who would know would be who?
Well, the other rich.
Him. Barely even.
Okay.
It's so, look it up. Go, pull your phone up right now. Look up Loro Piana. It just looks like the same shit. I'd actually recommend look it up. It's just the same shit you wear, but in a very, very nice threading and fabric. A Patek Philippe Nautilus. Look up a Patek Philippe Nautilus, okay? Look it up. Look up a Patek Philippe 5980. Look that up, okay? Look up a Patek 5990. Just look it up. Nautilus. Actually, look it up. Look up a Patek, even you, look up Patek, Patek, 5990. How much is the 5990?
300K.
What does it look like? A watch from Macy's. A watch from Macy's. A watch from Macy's. It's what you wear. If you've already got 30 mil and you're around other people that have 30 mil, you wear a Patek. If not, just a hoodie. Why do you wear a Patek? Because you can wear a Patek in a favela in Rio de Janeiro and not get robbed. What happens if you wear this in a favela in Rio de Janeiro? Okay? So, but what is this meant to signal to you? Creativity, motivation, outside the box, something different, aspiration, balling out. You see what I'm saying? That's why a rapper might have diamond teeth. They came from the hood. They're going the top. So I wear that around you guys because, first of all, this is probably what you think a rich person would wear. Because you don't know what a Patek is. You just go, diamonds. That's it, diamonds. You know Trump, he would do that, right? A real rich person, do they put their last name on a building, a plane? Do they have like gold banisters in the building? That's like Scrooge McDuck. It's like a cartoon of a rich guy. But that's why Trump became the president to the masses, and no one even knows who these rich guys are. Now, here's the key, okay? Around a guy already rich, I want to look just sleek. I'm going to wear Loro. I'm going to wear Hermes. I'm going to wear Patek. Around people that are aspirational, I'm going to wear a bright blue shirt. Why is that? Why am I going to wear a bright blue shirt?
Grab attention.
Creativity. Psychedelic, but sober. Do you guys see how I make this seminar very psychedelic? Does it feel like a sober psychedelic that we're generating here, right? How do I look? Machine elf. I'm the machine elf. I'm Mother Ayahuasca. I don't even do psychedelics, but you see my point? What am I doing with you guys with the big beard? Psychedelic. Yeah. Over the top. I'm using movement. I'm breaking autopilot. Okay, look, when I say to you guys, I want to die public speaking, is it that I really want to die public speaking? Yes. But why am I saying it? What am I actually doing? What surgery am I doing on you if you're newer when I say I want to die public speaking? What am I doing to you? There's a word for this in NLP or hypnosis. Repeat this after me. Repeat this after me. Pattern interrupt. Say it.
Pattern interrupt.
When I say always go full retard, when I say I want to die having sex or doing a seminar, what am I doing? I already told you. What am I doing?
Pattern interrupt.
What is the purpose of the pattern interrupt?
Break the autopilot.
Who said it? Say it again.
To break the autopilot.
What I'm doing. Did you guys in here observe that as I say these outrageous things, I'm breaking the autopilot? When I keep talking, not being a millionaire makes you a bitch. Look, if I see some woman who has 3 kids, their father was in the military, he died in Iraq, and she's working at Walmart to pay for her 3 kids. You think I think she's a loser?
No, of course not.
Loser. Okay, right? Loser. Okay. No, not in the slightest. I think she's very honorable, okay? So, look, if I see a simple man, a simple God-fearing man who drives a truck and he helps to move the world forward, do I actually think that guy's a bitch? Not even 1%. I love that guy. I love everybody. Not even 1%. But if I say that to you, look, like I said, if you didn't ask me, I'm not going to say shit. I don't walk up to a trucker and go, bitch, I want to die having sex. I don't, okay? But you came here, right? If someone clicked on the video, they asked. They asked, right? They said, help me, right? So what I'm doing here, which is an art form, is I'm also breaking your pattern, which is generating a light level psychedelic state. I'm generating a light level psychedelic state. So what I'm doing here as an art form is I'm showing public speaking, I'm showing improvisation, I'm showing vocal use, I'm showing embodiment, but what I'm also doing is I'm fucking with your brain in a good way as like a mental surgery by breaking your pattern, okay? So in other words, for most of you in here, you wake up, you shower, shave, go to work or work from home, and the day looks fairly similar. If I come in here and I'm like, bright blue shirt, bling, beard, loud, improvise, crazy, wants to die having sex, etc., what's that doing to your patterns?
Jacking them up.
The way that we can create change is Genesis. Say Genesis.
Genesis.
So Genesis means 0 to 1. Say that.
0 to 1.
Try to follow this. Say there was nothing.
There was nothing.
And now there's something.
And now there's something.
Okay, so like when I made what I built over the years, if you follow my career, there was nothing, and suddenly there was something. And that something grew. Some people bastardized it, made weird ideologies out of it. Others improved it. Others made it work better, right? But it spread. There was nothing, and now there's something. When you're on autopilot and you just wake up, shit, shower, and shave, and do the same shit, don't get influences, don't manage your energy, don't push yourself, etc., you're on autopilot. So say, keep doing what I've always done.
Keep doing what I've always done.
Keep getting the results I've always gotten.
Keep getting the results I've always gotten.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. You guys see what I'm saying here? Okay?
Yes.
So what I'm trying to do, what a psychedelic's meant to do, but you don't need it, is it's meant to shut down the default mode network in your brain a little bit and create new pathways. What I'm trying to do to you guys here is I'm trying to break down your current pathways surrounding money, women, happiness, and I'm trying to feed you with energy by channeling it, saturate you with fucking energy, and get you thinking bigger. But here's what I don't like doing. I don't like creating seminars that I wouldn't want to attend, okay? I don't want to attend a seminar by a guy in a suit who's like, all right, step one, we have to generate a client list. A client list is a list of prospective buyers who could make a purchase. We need to screen the clients as potential buyers and have a buyer's list. The second step, do you guys see what I'm saying? Yeah. I had teachers like that. You know what I did? I failed. I was a failing student in school until my 6th year of high school. In Canada, we go to school for 5 years, by the way. And in my 6th year of high school, they had this thing, in Canada, it was called OAC. And what it was like Ontario Academic Certificate or something, whatever it was. I can't remember. I think that's what it was called. And they let you do what's called independent study. Once they took the shackles off and didn't make me study bullshit I didn't like, and I was allowed to create my own project, I became the top student out of a 1,200 student high school. Now watch the swing. I went from being one of the bottom 4 or 5 graded students, this is not a joke by the way, this is not me just trying to make a point, to the point that I had like special ed, I had guidance counselors, everyone's like, what's happening with Owen, he's gonna fail. I go into independent study, top student in my whole school. They would give out my essays for other students to learn from. And I became the best public speaker in my school. So why do you think that is? Because I was doing what I was meant to do and I generated creativity, okay? So that's what I'm saying is like you might think you're dumb. You might think, oh, I'm not that functional. Oh, I'm not a millionaire yet. But what you're not realizing is maybe you're just not doing what you're meant to do. You're not channeling energy properly. You're not admitting where you're weak. You're not getting mentors. You're not finding joy in it. You're lacking compelling vision. So I'm trying to install those things into you in a lightly psychedelic way. So when I do things like, I wear the kind of watch that you wear as an aspirational watch, even though it's expensive as hell, you guys shit a brick. Or, act in ways that are a bit over the top. I'm doing that because unless you're already a multi-millionaire several times over, do you need administrative energy or do you need Genesis energy?
Genesis energy.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? Everyone's trying to teach you at the level of administrative energy. Right? They're like, okay, step 1, step 2, keep it calm, right? But you're stuck in fucking autopilot, right? You're stuck in autopilot, you're bored, it's not compelling, you don't want to do it, you hate it, and then you rationalize and you cope. That's what's happening. My view is that if we're gonna make money, it should be like the Big Bang. Say Big Bang.
Big Bang.
Right, that's Genesis, the first book in the Bible, right? Like God created the universe, created the earth. The Big Bang is another way to see Genesis. If you're broke, you don't need more administration. You need a big bang. Anything less than millionaire several times over is broke. You're totally not even safe. You can't even do what you want to do. So it has to be a big bang. Okay? You get around me, it's like big bang, big bang, big bang, big bang. I'm trying to show you something, okay? You have, say the word hypomania. Hypomania. Calm execution. Calm execution. So to be great at this, what I try to show you here was how to initiate hypomania. Say how to initiate? How to initiate hypomania. Now, the problem is if somebody goes too much hypomanic, they wind up in the hospital. That's true, actually, by the way. People that have bipolar, it's horrible. So, if that's you, just be careful. Always get a doctor. So, ideally, what you want to do is you have a couple gears that you understand. One of them is how to initiate hypomania. So, basically, what you do is you go, okay, I need a new product. I need a new social media. I need a new offer. I need a new sales page. I need to go out and meet girls. I need to build something new. Genesis, 0 to 1. Say 0 to 1.
0 to 1.
Yeah, and then in that point, you initiate creativity. Full retard, compelling vision, movement, flow. Then when you're locked in and you're just banking it, now what you do is you calmly press down the gas, right? It's like you're in a sword fight, and it's like, bum, 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 bum. You know, right? You got to be like creative, right? But once you, not that you should ever hurt someone or do this, but I'm saying metaphorically, say it was the days of the nights back in the day. But once it's in, what do? Because you won, right? You know you're meeting a girl? Joking, shit testing, free association, right? But you got her, sometimes it's time to shut the fuck up and just take her home. You know what I'm saying? So one is generative, and the others just don't fuck it up, right? So say you look at Dan Bilzerian, right? Dan's got the mega mansion, the party, et cetera, et cetera. So is he in a hypomanic state, or is he just nice and calm? Dan's very, well, lately is, I mean, he's all over the place lately. We'll dodge that topic. But anyway, if you know, you know, right? But what I'm saying is, before all that, okay? Yeah, I mean, all right. But, you know, anyway. But aside of, he went a little, you know, anyway. I'll leave that one alone. Let's just keep on this shit. But what I'm getting at was, did you guys notice what his personality's like when he has the mansion, has the best parties, has the biggest social media? What was his personality like at that time? Hey, what's up? I'm Dan. Yeah. Calm, right? You know why? Because when you got the mega mansion, the best parties in town, the biggest social media in town, the most amount of girls in social media, and you're a famous celebrity, do you need to have swag? No, because you have parties. That's money used effectively, by the way, with parties and girls in your social media for hypergamy. But if you're a cold approacher, well, guess what? That type of personality may not be as effective because there's competing stimulus. Also, one other little tip, but this is a bit of a side quest. This is really cool, I'm gonna tell you. Super dope. Pay attention, it's super dope. Super dope, pay attention. When you go to a woman, if you can chat her and be very free associative as you make eye contact, it triggers crazy attraction. Logic kills you. Free association gets you laid. This is massive. You wanna know why that is? How confident do I have to be in front of you guys to be able to free associate?
Top notch.
Crazy, right? I've got to fully believe I'm the man. I have value to add, etc. If I'm nervous, what do I need? A PowerPoint. Point number one. Oh yeah, I remember. It's this. So what's happening is when you can go to a girl and you're just kind of silly. Do you see how I free associated here? You know where else I learned that? Going out. So hilariously, free association, which is the energy of Genesis, leads to impregnation, which is Genesis. That's super deep. Even though what I said is like kind of dumb and lowbrow, that's so fucking deep what I just told you. That's like 25 years studying something until you realize it. You're like, go in, energy of Genesis leads to the ultimate Genesis of impregnation. Wow. Do you guys see that? Yeah. It's the Genesis energy leading to impregnation, okay? So you're actually feeding energy, which is basically foreplay. Okay, so guys hate that. They're like, oh, I don't want to have to be silly with a girl. It's annoying. All that kind of stuff. She's speaking a different language, by the way. Right? You wanted to be this lame business guy and have girls have sex with you for it. But that's not the energy of Genesis. So you think you're smart and the fun guy is dumb. When in reality, you're dumb and the fun guy is smart. Because he actually has the energy of Genesis to him. Ideally, though, we have both. And we're here to teach that to you. Okay? But high degrees of intelligence means that you can rapidly shift your mind into massive creativity, massive momentum, massive action, it's effortless, massive effortless action, or you can slide into just calm, linear thinking. Do you guys see that? Blueprint decoded that I created when I was young. Was that all over the place or was it linear? It's very linear, but how did I create it? Did I create that at home being linear? How did I create it? Hypomania. You're not going to change the world with a new invention being like, well, 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. 4 + 4 is 8, right? You're not going to make an invention like that. How do you make an invention? Insanity. Yeah. Light level insanity. What is sex like? Light level insanity. Right? Medium insanity. Right? Like how girls call guys like medium ugly. That's kind of what I am. I'm the medium ugly guy. Okay, so guys, are you guys seeing a bit larger patterns here? This actually is the billionaire seminar though. Because what I'm showing is, there's been guys that I coach who are ultra rich, And I was able to get them to ultra rich. So I was able to take what they had going and get them very creative, especially when I taught them marketing at higher levels. But if you're someone who's new, I'm trying to show you how to generate massive ideas from 0 to 1, from scratch, okay? Now, with the kind of stuff that I'm showing you here, you're unstoppable. I'm sorry to tell you. You are unstoppable, okay? You are literally unstoppable. Nobody can compete with you. You have a total edge. Everyone's fucked. Nobody can even come close to you. Everybody else is like a fucking joke. Literally unstoppable, okay? When you internalize this stuff. You will go to number 1. You will obliterate all competition. Nobody will be able to keep up with you. You know why? Because they don't get it. They just don't get it. They're operating as takers. They don't know how to generate a flow state. They get tired easily. They lack the motivation. There's an old expression, repeat this after me. It's a bit morbid. If you wait by the river long enough, the dead bodies of your enemies will go floating by. Here's what that means. They all give up eventually. All my competitors eventually, they gave up, they caved, and they all have the, people will say to me, I can't believe you're still doing it. That's the art form. Do you guys follow that? To be the best requires longevity. You see what I'm saying? So is it who's like the best marketer wins? No. The best skill set wins? Not necessarily. The most talent wins? Not necessarily. You know what it is? Who can stay at it the longest? Who's the most motivated? Who can draw out the most resourcefulness? And here's what they do in the end. They go, you know what I realized? I'm kind of over it. That stuff's kind of lame. I had to grow up. Say the word, I had to grow up.
I had to grow up.
Yeah, so here's what I had to grow up looks like to me. They stopped traveling. They stopped having good sex. They stopped building things. They stopped being creative. And they get a mortgage. And they get a wife. Look, mortgage and wife's cool, but you know my point, right? They give up. They gave up on the dream. They let the high school version of them die. And you think that'd be a good thing, right? That's maturity. That's growth. But what is it really? They're giving up on the dream. They are. And can I tell you something? I watched so many people give up on the dream. So many. But that's fake, and I'll tell you why, okay? If you study prehistory, mankind doesn't just sit there derping out. We penetrate into new lands. We fight, we hunt, we create things. Like, if you actually study prehistory, because remember, we didn't have like machinery and we didn't have plastics or anything like that, right? So everything that we created had to be it had to be extremely creative. Imagine your prehistory, how your genetics lived for most of your DNA's existence. It wasn't this shit. It was literally as a hunter. It was you out there. Maybe it could be up in the Bering Straits, fighting a short-faced 12-foot bear. Do you guys know how common woolly mammoths were in this country? They were everywhere. The country was, until 12,000 years ago or so, the country, there's woolly mammoths. You'd look out the street, there'd be woolly mammoths. There'd be dire wolves, short-faced bear, giant sloth. They'd be everywhere, like the savannah. You'd be out there hunting them. You'd have competition. You'd be highly creative. What you'll find if you start traveling, okay, just do a road trip. You know the best country in the world to do a road trip? America. Do a road trip. And you know what you'll find when you're out there? You'll get high off of it. You'll feel yourself, like just drive up into the mountains. Who has just driven up way up in the Rockies? Who has ever done that? How's that feel? How do you describe it?
Elevating.
Unbelievable, right? Penetrating. Men want to penetrate, right? Penetrating into the Rockies, right? And you're driving up the hill and you're like, we're going up. We're going up. We're going into the Rockies. You know what I'm saying, right? Or like hiking deep into nature. You're like, we're going in. I don't even know where the fuck we're going. Just don't get yourself killed, right? But you know, we're going in, right? Game. Go out talking to girls. We're going in. We're going big time. Go big or go home. We're going in, right? That enlivens your brain. That's how we were meant to function. And by the way, meat didn't last that long, right? We could smoke it and keep it for a while, but were we meant to over-accumulate wealth? What happens when you over-accumulate wealth? Stagnates. What do we see from human beings like their parents are rich? It fucks them bad. So ironically, the thing that we think we want, we hate. You ever play an open world video game where you beat it, and then now you have all the armor, you have all the strength, and they leave it open world, and you're bored? Once you have the armor, the weapons, you know how to beat everybody, and the open world video game ceases to be challenging, how fast you turn that game off? Really fast. So you want to think of this more as an open world video game, but the real version of a video game, okay? So what you're learning over time is how to innovate, how to control your mind. As a man, that would be how to get laid, get a girlfriend, have children, make money, make the right amount of money, do what you're passionate about, get in a flow state, achieve your excellence, like just like unravel your excellence that's already there and then cultivate it and sharpen it and expand your soul. That's what I'm trying to get at you with here, okay? The real journey of life. And it really is a journey, okay? It really, really is a journey and a gift. And most of the people that you see out there are denying the gift. They're bored, they're lame, and they're souls. I love them all. But the world needs a human awakening project. I don't know what to tell you. The world needs a human awakening project. And the world's got to change. And unfortunately, what's happening is more and more things are being invented to allow people to doom scroll and take drugs. And eventually AI is going to come out. And people will just sit there plugging the AI, and they're just denying God. And they're denying adventure. They're denying creativity. They're denying their abilities. They're denying real growth. But every one of you in here now has the tools to truly grow, to truly be at your peak, to truly accomplish anything. Forge in the image of your creator. Unstoppable. Unfucking stoppable. Anything you want to build, anything you want to create, anything you want to achieve. If you're here to do it, it is for you. You can do it. And it's not about what you take, it's about who you become. You're in your 60s, it'll be over soon, it'll be over. I'm 46, it'll breeze by. And it won't be about what you took, it's about who you became in the fucking process. And every single one of you here has a soul. Every single one of you here has been gifted the gift of eternal life. Every single one of you has what you're meant to get here in this part of your journey as its pit stop on the way to higher ascension and to the absolute evolution of your soul. And we're all in this together as a family. I love all you guys. I believe in all you guys. I believe in you more than you ever understand. I see value in you. I love you. I'm here because I love you. I know who you are. And I want you to know who you are too. So we're going to do some exercises, but thank you very much. That's my speech for today. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you.